Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Greyhawks channel. I am Little Red Dot here as your DM for tonight's show, which of course is the Birthright of the Pomarj. I want to once again thank our lovely, lovely people here at Greyhawk, including Shane, who have given us, the platform to tell this incredible story. So before we get started tonight, I just want to go around the cast and crew. This is our second episode. So if you are new with us here at Greyhawk, there are tons of cool ways you can get involved, including, helping the channel out by subscribing and donating. And when we reach certain goals, we have certain awesome things that happen. So we'll go through that if and when it happens, but go ahead and show some love here to this channel. But let's go around in order as it shows here. We're just going to go down. First up is Pangalactic. How are you tonight? And you wouldn't mind just reminding everybody who your character is.
Sure thing. Hello, I'm Chris, aka Pangalactic, aka Loot the Room. I am very well tonight. I've just woken up, but I'm doing my best to cover it, and then I just announced it to the internet, so it doesn't really matter how hard I'm trying. I'm going to be playing Dren the Placeless, an orc bard who has been following Turoshmok around and chronicling his rise to power.
All very true. All very true. Awesome. And right down the line, we have Scott with us today. How are you, Scott?
Hello, everyone. Let me move my mic so I'm not yelling. I'm Scott, the game master for Nerds on a Roll, and I'm doing great tonight. This is going to be a nice change of pace. I've been prepping for another game and listening to Wu-Tang Clan all day, so this is a good shift for me. I am playing Tristan Traherne, a cleric devoted to Kundo and of the Forge domain. I'm old and I don't want to be here.
That is a true story. He is old and he does not want to be here and has kind of been roped in to this. That's brilliant. And moving right on down the line to my other favorite ginger in the whole world, that salty ginger. How are you tonight, Lauren?
I am doing great. Super stoked to be here. This was a ton of fun last week and I can't wait to get back into it. I'm playing Ricky Thorngage, halfling monk. She talks all in vocal fry and not a great person. # save Carl. That's me in a nutshell.
Oh, yes, short, sweet, and to the point. She is our lovely halfling of the group, who saw and heard some pretty important things last game, and we're going to go over that that recap here in a second. And last but certainly not least here, we have in what 123 or Paul. How are you tonight, Paul?
Hello. What's going on, guys? My name is Paul, or In123. I'm a writer caster here on Twitch, a co-founder of Nucleus, and just a random Twitch user. Just like hanging out, enjoying the shows and stuff. Tonight, I'm going to continue to play Ural, the pure-blooded orc paladin, who is a loyal devotee of Tarash, and he's gonna, hopefully not screw up and be awkward like he always is. But we'll see. Hopefully he's not too awkward.
Hopefully not. I doubt it though. Nothing is more awkward than what is it? 2 orcs, a human, and a halfling.
Yeah.
2.5 orcs.
2.5 orcs. Welcome back to 2.5 orcs. Well, today here on Greyhawk, like I said, there are lots of ways that you can support the channel. I've already seen a ton of love come in, so thank you everybody out there that is getting everybody hyped up and throwing some sub love our direction. In addition to that, there are some killer sponsors. Let me see that we have here on the channel. I don't know if that will work. Maybe not. Sponsor. Maybe not. We do have some sponsors here on the channel, though. You can scroll below and find out more about them. They help make this possible, so show a lot of love to them. That includes Tabletop Loot, and it looks like Cantrip Candles, which is a personal favorite of my own. So give them some love here today by going and redeeming some cool things from them. Now, it is time to hop right back into this campaign. Now, last week, there was quite a lot that happened, and it was a rather unusual first episode, some might say. For some reason, gang, my screen has gone black, and it's very important that you see the map, because I drew on it for you. And I really want to show it to you, but now it just doesn't really want to cooperate, so I'm going to see if I can't right that wrong here. by loading that back up again. It's so weird. No.
Oh, you did draw on it.
I did. I wanted to show you some things that I didn't quite have for you last week, but I wanted to make sure I had for you this week. All right, let's see if I can't get my camera more
We need
center
a
here.
save Carl command every time Carl gets into trouble. We just type save Carl.
Save Carl.
Yes, we do.
I'm sure that when Shane returns from what I think he's on vacation, everybody. So if you feel like Shane's been a little quiet this week, I'm sure he is on a much deserved vacation from this channel. But that being said, when he returns, that is a request that I may put in because we do need to hashtag save Carl. Just save the Carl. All right, so last week, what I want to actually do is go around. Each of your characters had almost like a mini origin that drew them into the conflict that's happening right now in our story here in Greyhawk. Let me transition this because we are, in fact, ready to go. Boom, more center for all of you at home. So what that means really is that there has been rumor, as well as direct contact, that the orcs have pulled together. They have banded, along with all of the orc kinsmen, as they like to call them, or we're going to call them for this campaign, which includes kobolds and goblins and half-orcs, anybody that carries that lineage and has been over time probably had a few prejudice thrown their way from the more civilized races. In our campaign, Turash is the great orc, the despot, if you would, of the peninsula of the Pomarj, which is where these orc kinsmen have been isolated to over time. Turash had a vision, one that has led him to believe that he is to lead the next great civilization here in this land, that by merging orc culture with that of civilized culture and providing equal opportunity, a new dawning is arising, and he is the leader that is going to get us there. So he has begun to march Turash up or out of the peninsula of the Pomarj, fighting his way around the swampland. And you can see I've got the map up here. I'm going to zoom in just a tad for you. That might be helpful on the area. So the peninsula here at the end, his army started in High Port and moved down and missed what is known as the Sus Forest, which is really not a forest at all. It's just a dreadful, dreadful swamp is really what it is. And around it, through some of the hilly area, and actually skirted around the county of Ulick. Now, you have to understand, Ulick is, of course, who came to the rescue here at the end of last week's episode. But like I said, each of you, knowing this information, came to this battle, the Battle of Selene Pass, as it will become known to history, for different reasons. I would like to go around, and based upon last week's episode, each of you tell me what your character took away from that episode. What did they learn? What is a piece of information that ties them to this story? And why don't we start at the end? We'll start with Paul.
Muted.
Oh, muted. Sorry.
Sorry. Being the loyal devotee of Tarashmak, he has always followed in his footsteps, and the events that happened in the previous episodes definitely shook his foundation of belief and loyalty, where it's not really like he's questioning it or anything. He's more of like, how could this happen? You know? So his state of mind is currently in a, I need to know more. I need closure. I need to figure out what's going on so that he can uphold the name properly in his own way. He's a very educated, standard person where he has his own laws and rules that he follows. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or anyone else follows. It's mostly about how he runs it. And right now, those rules are being shooken. So he's shook. So he's got to figure out what's going on and kind of like figure out what the heck is going on, honestly.
Yeah. And where his place is kind of in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Very nice. And right on down the line, we have our lovely halfling who is kind of here by accident.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I gotta be out of here by now. Yeah. So Ricky was just having a nice jaunt through a village that wasn't as decimated as she expected it to be. and she found some info about where Turash Mach was headed. And I guess she had like a hot second of altruism. She was like, I guess I should tell someone, right? And then she did, and she was confused why she did that. Maybe some old teachings from her monastery, which preached peace. So that was fun.
Yeah.
That's not her bag. But the most important thing she saw last time was Turash Mach leaving his tent and walking away and getting beaten by 5 humanoid figures in black cloaks and dragged into the swamp. Just like that.
Just like that. And she is right. It was a very important thing that kind of changed the fate of what happened during the Battle of Selene Pass, and has put a bit of fear, once found out, into the orc leaders. Now, our human, right? Our human has also roped into this, not necessarily kind of against his will. What did your character take away from their experience last time?
Well, the big thing for Dristan was, he just wants to go home at the end of the day. But now he kind of realizes, after everything he saw and everything he heard, that with Turash gone, like Turash was an enemy, and sort of the head of the snake, you cut it off, the enemy dies sort of situation. But with Turash out of there, we talked about how the fact the orcs might turn on each other, and they don't share his sensibilities, and the devastation could be huge, especially when you have Selene and all that. So he's just kind of like, okay, great, now I have to go rescue an enemy general, or I may not have a home to go back to. And so the stakes for this just got a lot higher for him. Before he was like, cool, I'm gonna die out here, or we'll fight and then I get to go home if I'm lucky. But now it's like, okay, in his mind, like, we were gonna kill Turash maybe and drive him out, and then I could have gone home. But without Turash, there may not be a home to go back to, because those orcs will destroy the land while attempting to destroy each other for leadership. So he's like, great, now I have to be invested beyond just simply being here. So I think it's kind of what he took away is that, as a pious man, maybe this is where he's supposed to be. Maybe this is punishment for his past transgressions. But he knows that he can't just sit by anymore and mend swords. Action needs to be taken.
This is true, and you're right. It was kind of an eye-opening thing for everybody that was part of the battle at Selene Pass, whether you were fighting for Turash or whether you were trying to keep the Turash from crossing back up and around into the area of Selene. And because he is kind of a puzzle piece that's holding everything together and loosely threading these orc tribes together, if they find out he's missing, it could mean literally all out chaotic war along this peninsula here, and throughout Ulick, which is known for being home to dwarves. And last but surely not least is our other orc, one that bears a different burden of information. What does your character take away, Chris, from last week?
So Dren believes very firmly in the cause that Turash is fighting for, and the cause that united the orcs. But along the way, he's had his doubts about both the means Turash has taken to achieve it and how effective they were. And he was, up until the events of last week, kind of convinced himself that all the rest of the orcs and the orc kin were behind the cause and weren't just behind Turash. But now that Turash is gone and that warning has been issued that kind of chaos is going to ensue, he's kind of realized that although he is kind of a better orc and he's lived among people and he's ready to kind of join wider society, maybe his people actually aren't quite ready to stand up and take their place yet. And he's worried about what that means for the future of the orcs and their place in the world.
Yeah, and you are carrying a piece of information.
I am. Turash's rise has been driven on the back of this vision that Turash had of him standing on a hilltop, uniting all the orcs. but Dren knows that that vision wasn't of him, but one of his potentially many hundreds of sons, and nobody knows who that might be, and nobody else is looking for that person other than Dren.
Or so you know.
So that he knows.
The plot thickens. So each of you were brought to the table, and at the end of the Battle of Selene Pass, which lasted 3 days, the orc armies were devastated, to the surprise of the few numbers that stood on the opposite side of a crude series of walls. This, in fact, crushed Turash, which is what brought him to his tent, and it was Ricky that witnessed him being kidnapped by these cloaked figures. When the truth of the matter revealed itself, everybody, including the higher-ups in the orc army, as well as a few generals, that was Captain Splinterstone, if I remember correctly, who came with additional forces from Ulick to basically save the day. They have put a moment of hush or pause on the battle at Selene Pass, both armies waiting to hear what is going to happen. Can the 4 of these people, along with Carl, find the next phase? Now, they were given information at the end by Captain Splinterstone that you were to visit the Principality of Ulick, the capital city, in fact, of Greyhawk. And there, in the capital city, you were to look for 2 individuals. One a dwarf. Now, Greyhawk is probably the least dwarven populated city. It tends to be, because it's the capital, a little bit more racially understanding. But orcs are definitely not something you see quite frequently. And as each of you are saddled with a horse, one for each of you, along with one for Carl, which is basically the remainder of what's left after battle, Captain Splinterstone waddles up this giant-chested dwarf, and he reminds you, don't trust anyone. You ride straight from here, south to Greyhawk. It's going to be a many days' journey, so I suggest, if you need to find a place to stop, do it along the river. If you camp in the woods, the gnolls will eat you.
Cool. That sounds great.
Buttflap Jack stands next to Captain Splinterstone in all of his glory, and he leans over to Carl, who of course was his squire, and he says, boy, he adjusts his pants. This is your chance to show yourself, to make sure that you hold true to my teachings. And Carl's like, but you didn't actually teach me anything, sir. He's like shaking, holding his pack tight to his chest. He smacks him on the back, probably a little too hard, and he says, come on, boy, saddle up. He's like, I want you to report back after they've made it to town.
I start laughing to myself. Yeah, that's gonna happen. If he's alive, he's not going back by himself.
Right.
He'll go straight into the woods. You told us to stay along the river. He'll go straight into the woods. I know how. No, this poor.
Because I'm terrified of the woods. I don't like the woods.
Yeah. Why would you?
And he gets one more giant pat on the back from old Captain Buttflap Jack, and he wearily mounts this horse as well. Splinterstone says, well, you know where you're going, right?
Southwest? No, east.
Why don't you all roll me a survival check?
South.
Why don't you...
We're all gonna die.
Except I'm
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
You're not.
You're not at all going to die the 19th survival. You've been this way before. You know that both the county of Ulick and the Principality of Ulick, and actually, oh yeah, hell yeah, they're 24. You know this too.
It looks like we're gonna follow them.
Yeah, I was about to say
I've forgotten
Dristan
how to
does. Because Dristan's actually, you lived your little like area.
Yeah, we're gonna follow them. We're gonna just follow right
So,
behind.
there's a high probability. There's a really high probability that Drin has never actually been on the opposite side of the mountain range. With the Nat 1, you've probably not been far enough west to even see any of this. Dristan and Ricky, on the other hand, probably know this area well. The county of Hewlett.
Pascal, that's about it.
Yeah, and which is actually kind of it's over near High Point. Port is as far east as you can pretty much go. The both of you have ridden through this area. One, because the city of Gryrax is well known for being a safe haven for halflings as well as gnomes. But many of the mountain and kind of flat areas of this land have small towns and villages that are welcoming to halflings and gnomes specifically. The mountains themselves are well populated by dwarves. Both of you know that. And there is one city, big city, on the way south that you could hit. Which is Jurun. I think is how they say it. And you could always stop there, or you could probably find another small outcropping if you wanted to stay incognito. But both of you have a pretty decent idea where you're going. You head south until you hit the water's edge, and the capital city sits on a giant port town.
Got it. Seems easy enough.
Yep.
So looking like the way we're headed, forests aren't going to be a big, looking at this map, a big issue for very long, right?
Not really. You guys will pass through some green area. A lot of it is flat land. The wooded areas are going to be around the rivers and things like that, just where there's a little bit more moisture. Other than that, you're not looking at like swamp, forest, or tropical area.
Got it. So it should be a straight shot, right?
Should be.
Never is.
Never is. You do have
no
to
such thing as a milk run.
This is a 3-session campaign, don't you know?
Yeah, it'll be fine. You
We
guys will
get
be
there, we do
in
the
and
thing, we go,
out.
oh.
Be fine. So you guys set off with the two of them. You guys set off in the direction. Are you guys wanting to hit the town, or do you want to take a straighter shot direct south and just make your own path?
Well, in my opinion, I think we should. Is it pronounced Joom?
I think it's actually it is Joom. It's not an R. Jern.
Yeah, I can't tell if
It
it's
is
an
an R
R
or an M.
or an M.
Let me zoom out. My eyesight, you guys. We were just going through this. I'm so blind. Yeah, I can't tell if it's a June. Jern.
Make it.
Yeah, I like
Jern.
Jern.
All right, let's go with Jern.
Yep, that's what it is. Probably exactly the opposite, but now it's Jern.
Someone who's been playing
The city of Jern.
Screaming at us right now.
Well, somewhere I think up to the north of us is the Grand Duchy of Jeff. So,
You know.
Greyhawk was not the most creative when it came to naming.
Maybe we'll find. I wonder who Jeff really was. It is Jurm, Germ E. Okay, so it is Jurne, Jern. All right,
I feel like
Jern.
we need to stop there just to establish what it's named.
Double check.
So we have to stop by. Hey, we're on a very important mission, but we need this clarified. How?
What is the name
pronounce-
of your town?
All right,
I've
bye.
got a bet going.
Thanks.
Got it? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Here is an idea.
Take
You
a-
Mm-hmm.
guys, here's an idea. What if we start heading south, and then if we run into any trouble, we just beeline it that way? If we need to. I don't know if we should take the time to divert that far.
I worry that with 2 orcs going to a town may prove to be more trouble than it is worth.
Time is not really on our side.
Right, that's why I said we head toward Gryrax, which is also a wonderful name. And if we get in trouble along the way and we need to restock, then we head to the town. I'm not saying go there now.
Looking at this map, we could, once we passed Jern, it's a straight shot down to Gryrax. So our only other opportunity for resupplying is Haven Hill. So maybe we should skirt the hills instead of just cutting straight across the grassland.
Sure. I love hills, climbing, hills, singing, and the hills are alive.
Plus, it
I would
might
say.
be easier to conceal our new friends in the hills.
This
I'm
is
not opposed to this.
I was going to say this is true, and both of the orcs in the party would know that the hills do have the tendency to be a smidge more dangerous because you'll probably find some like you, ones that are rebellious of tribes and things like that that live on their own in the mountains.
The hills have eyes.
The
Do we know this? We know this, right? The orcs know this.
Yeah, you would know this.
Okay.
There's definitely a lot of goblin activity of goblins that don't want to be part of the kind of orc culture that's growing. So, it definitely would be safer. You're right, and the two of you might even be able to talk your way out of situations potentially.
You will do that, right? Talk your way out of situations and not throw us under the.
I look over at Dern and I speak in Orcish. We will.
We will.
And then I come and I look back and comment. We will.
Nice. You guys, I like you. You guys, there's a certain. You guys have like charisma, and I respect that because I don't have that.
Well, I'm glad we're all getting buddy.
You
Carl.
don't sound
Right.
Keep up, Carl. Come on.
Carl's
Come
like,
on.
I'm coming. He's like bouncing, like
So
lazily on his horse.
That little worm is coming along.
He goes, I have to deliver a message. His hands like he's
Wait.
bouncing.
What message, Carl?
Well, he like tries to pull the horse to a stop. It's not done well at all, and he almost tips off because well, Captain Jack said that I should take this letter to the library.
Yeah, give it to me. Let me read it.
He pulls it close. He goes,
Carl, don't let me take it from you.
I can't give it. He said unopened. It had to be unopened.
It'll hurt, Carl, if I have to take it from you.
Is this little worm hiding something?
I don't.
Captain Buttflap said that I'm not supposed to show anybody what's on the letter.
I'm gonna grab it from him. Poor Bab.
He
I'm
goes,
just
Really
gonna like.
grip
hold it.
your items a little bit more sturdy, worm.
Yeah. You could call him Carl. I mean, I don't care, but I'm gonna hold it up to the light and try to read it.
Okay, so you why don't you roll an I would take an insight or investigation. Either one would probably yield what it is you're looking for. And I may have a better. Chat's freaking out about my map because I chose like the ugliest map ever because it was going to be the clearest one.
I thought it looked great.
I think it looks fine.
Great
I'm glad you like it. Let me see
Be
if I.
glad you've got a map.
That's actually true too.
With
This
drawings.
This
Right.
one kind of gives us what we want. Yeah, it's not quite as wide the same direction, but it does. It is better, if you would. At a 21, as if you read people's mail all the time.
Me?
I
I don't assassinate people.
Yeah, you watch as you very professionally like hold it up to the light, and you've learned how to like get it just right where you can read at least part of it. And with a 21, you're able to see that it is addressed to someone, though you can't quite make the name out, but the name is also written on the envelope. Nidrau.
Right, that person.
Was that person. But this seems to have a message containing something more interesting. One, it talks about how they are not to harm the two orcs with the group, that you are the four of you are working in tandem.
Nice.
And you see 3 words that make the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. The Dark Brotherhood.
Eee.
They're
Yeah.
just a group of brothers who like to dress in dark clothes. That's literally all it is.
Yeah. So
I would put together, I was like, well, I'm like in my head, like, well, there were 5 guys in black cloaks. And I'm like, would I know what that is? I mean, I kill people. Shh, don't tell Carl. Would I kill
Carl
people?
can't know.
Don't tell him.
Carl can never know.
Oh, like, does that sound familiar?
What do you mean like Carl?
No, not Carl. The Dark Brotherhood. Does
Oh.
that sound familiar?
Oh, it should. Because
Oh,
it's the things
sweet.
nightmares are made of. I mean, you know
Oh,
that
yeah.
the Dark Brotherhood, it is whispered in the darkest of places, in the bottom of thieves' guilds, that the Dark Brotherhood is interlaced in everything. that they run everything. It is known that they frequent an island to the southeastern section of Greyhawk. They have a section that kind of nobody goes to. It's this very dark place. Let's see. Why don't you roll a history if you wanted to find out a little, see if you can recall how it might be connected.
Okay, I will try. Why do I keep thinking I have something that would help with history?
That change over? It did not. Let me do that.
Okay. History.
So
15.
Okay. Especially since you're not into orc culture necessarily, just your travels and being well traveled. The Dark Brotherhood, it is this rumored thing, but they are constantly looking for a way to the top. That is a well-known fact, that they kind of exist to maintain and gain power, which means they don't like anybody else rising to power. And they never have. But they keep themselves secretive enough, and they like to play things from the shadows. They like to bring monarchs in and under their power. They like to manipulate people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bad. Not
bad stuff.
Not
stuff.
nice. Yeah. Nice.
I would say, also based upon just your general streetwise knowledge and the things that are whispered about, and since you've been walking the battlefields of in his wake, in Tarash's wake, you have also started to hear rumors that Tarash, it is unsure how a half-orc managed to gain enough power to do what he did. It is rumored that he may have worked with the Dark Brotherhood to gain such power. Which, if that is the case, they might not be very happy that he lost the battle.
Nice. Okay. This is all very exciting to me because I just love going through people's mail. This is exciting for so many reasons. Hey, see, Carl, I didn't open it. Aren't you happy? Doesn't that make you happy? Why are you still shaking?
Well, just, I think the information was also supposed to be, private.
I didn't open it. How could I have read it?
Well, I don't know. He says, very confused. I assumed if you're gonna take it from me.
Carl, I'm gonna hold on to it.
Wait,
because,
but I'm supposed to.
I'll give it back to you when we're walking.
Trusted with it. You have already relinquished possession of it.
Thank you, Dren.
Not to mention, Worm, it seems like this is quite important, and you seem that you're going to die very quickly.
No, Carl.
What? I don't want to die.
Let up on Carl.
Hoorah.
He goes, but I don't want to die.
You're not gonna die. That's literally why you're with us.
Just eye Carl up and down.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
You die, we must carry our own gear.
And I hate doing manual labor for free.
Oh my God.
I just start handing him shit to carry.
So let's see if I can. Jesus. You guys should have the new map. This one's kind of you at least can see more of the land and see that it's not quite as flat as you think it is. Definitely very hilly. Let's see if I can find our places on the. I don't see our lovely province, but that's okay. You can see, that's there.
Drawings.
Where we're headed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where we're heading, right?
That is where you're heading.
Where are we currently?
You guys came from this pass up here.
Cool.
This is basically where you're headed, and you have the option of headed down this way. I want to think it's actually over here where this map's just done a little differently.
Are you pinging? I haven't. Oh, I see. From the. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna
Way
say.
over
Wait,
there.
yeah, way over here. Let's see. I can ping it. Yeah, it'll be over here somewhere.
Gotcha.
You guys are headed from up here. I'm not sure. Let's make sure. Yeah, chat can roughly see that. Okay, cool. So you guys have quite a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
The group, I guess what I heard from all of you is that you're interested in following the hills down.
Mhm.
Do you want to follow
Yeah.
the interior hills, and you can see it better here, which gives you kind of a few different routes. You guys could kind of go along this route here, and like down and around, so that's probably an option. You could also take a totally, alternate way and go long way around, so it's a little flatter.
Maybe, yeah. I think the blue is maybe the way to go because we stick by the hills, but we're not going too deep into them, and we
Mhm.
stick by the river, which is supposed to be a little safer.
And it
Yeah.
seems the shortest path.
Yeah.
We'll also avoid like 3 towns that way, which is probably good considering how many orcs
Yeah,
we have.
probably.
Yeah, okay. Let me zoom out.
Maybe we can fashion a raft of some kind.
Ooh, sailing.
Oregon Trail this shit right on top of the river.
Oregon Trail with
That's
an orc
amazing.
human and half.
I call not getting dysentery.
No, not it for dysentery.
I'm not doing it.
Carl.
All right. I don't even know what that is.
We'll do a speed run.
Oh my
Poor Carl.
God. Okay.
So where are we currently?
The very top X there is
Okay.
where that is kind of where the pass is, the makeshift area that you were kind of fighting for.
Gotcha.
So as you begin your trip, it's in terms of the survival and where you guys are headed, you navigate relatively easily. So that is not the problem by any means. Do you ride in silence or do you talk? Obviously, you've stopped to kind of have this, give me that piece of paper. And Carl now feels like he's already failed at his mission, so he's sad and quiet on his horse, brooding behind everyone. But do the four of you talk about anything really in particular as you kind of go down the path?
I'll talk to anyone about anything. I'm totally good at talking and I love doing it. This doesn't hurt my voice at all. So I would like to talk at length.
Please do.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Um,
So looking at Dren and his big drum, what's your deal, man?
It's my deal.
Yeah, it's like halfling street lingo. Like what's your deal? Like what have you done? Like if you had to describe yourself, right? How would you do it? Like your deal. What's your
I think she's
bag?
trying to purchase you.
It does seem.
I mean, I would.
Purchase me.
I mean, I wouldn't because I'm not. I wouldn't do that because I don't approve of that. So I wouldn't. But like, if you were into it, I would. But like, you're not, so I wouldn't. And I wouldn't anyway because I need. Why don't you talk? You're good at talking. I can tell.
I just watch until you kind of trail off.
Yep.
Just let you talk.
Yep. Let me wonder.
I am a chronicler.
That's cool.
I collect stories.
You want to? You want to tell me a story?
No.
Okay, maybe another time, because
Maybe.
yeah, because that would be cool. Might help
Once upon
Carl.
a time,
Oh yeah, nice.
there was a
Good stuff.
halfling who rode in silence. The end.
Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah. No, I know you do, Tristan. I know you do. Up there, fun guy. That's my fun guy.
You hear Carl go, I have a story.
No, Carl, shut up.
But
I would like to hear Carl's story.
really?
Dear God.
A great bard wants to hear.
I take out my book and my pen.
Well,
Oh,
Please.
well, I have.
Carl,
What?
Carl.
Hmm?
Don't
Okay.
do it.
Once upon a time.
No, Carl, I have a migraine. I can feel it starting.
Oh.
And the only way I can stop is to punch someone.
What?
So
He goes, but
I'm
would you like me to brew you up some tea to get rid of your headache? We could stop for the night.
yes, kind
Is it
of.
night time? What time is it?
It's middle of the day. It's like mid-evening. The sun is not down yet, though that pinkness is kind of taking over the sky.
I'm just utterly confused at this interaction at the moment. It's like, what is this worm talking about?
He's gonna make us some tea because he's a nice kid. He's thoughtful. and he doesn't want to get punched.
Do you drink tea? He says direct to Ural.
Yes, I drink tea.
I mean, I've never met an orc before.
How many orcs have you met?
I guess you're the first one, sir. Except for him. And he points over to, Drin.
I just put my book away and shake my head with disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, that explains it, I guess.
I'm sure you
never-
go to parties.
That was good. Carl, are you telling me that you've never met an orc, but you were prepared to kill a bunch?
Well, I kind of hope that I wouldn't actually have to, kill any. I could just stand guard or something.
You're fascinating. Twerp.
I just really wanted to prove myself, There's this pretty girl at home that I like.
Oh, God.
And she said she
No,
likes
I don't-
soldiers.
That is a terrible reason to enlist. You know that, right? That is,
Love is
the
the best reason, thing to fight for. It's what my mom says.
Carl, the migraine. It's like now it's like all right here.
Hey,
And if you say one more thing, I'm gonna lose it.
I just want to tell Carl to go home.
Right?
go home, Carl. So, actually, since Dristan has been kind of riding in silence, taking in this conversation between them.
He likes that.
Your perception, you don't, your perception's probably a little bit more heightened as you kind of look around as you travel on horseback. So why don't you actually roll a perception? Just being a little, hyper aware. As you ride, because the sun is beginning to go down, and the route that you're taking is following down something known as the Old River. You guys ride just off of it. You can hear it up until a point where the river comes to a cross, which is kind of where you guys are at. And I'll point that out here on our lovely map. So
kind of just west of Northwick.
Correct. Yep, right there. Whoop. I heard it, but I don't see it. Where is it? Boop. Oh, yes, a 15. That's actually pretty good. It seems relatively quiet. You are in a little bit more open area. It's a little hilly, but nothing too extreme. But an area like this, especially just west of somewhere like Northwick, could potentially have a lot of people. This crossing here at the river could mean for a few things. And you notice that a small path, as you kind of approach this section here. Ooh, that was black. That was much darker than I wanted it to be. Let me pick a different color. As you guys approach, it's right here. There is a path, a small path that picks up a kind of dirt path. It's this white line on the opposite side. And you hear a cart coming down the road. Just Dristan does.
Cool. So, I hold hand up, motioning everyone to stop. Quiet, Carl. We have visitors. We have not visitors is the wrong term because they're not coming to our house or anything. We have company. That's a much better term for that.
Put my hood up.
Yeah, he goes.
I'm gonna pull my hood up as well. Kind of lower my head just in case.
A carriage drawn by 2 horses trots along the opposite side of the river, which is quite a ways off, about 40 or 50 feet. The river is not too terribly wide, and the water seems low at the moment. But they kind of travel on by, and they're up an upper embankment, and you can kind of see it as the travels actually rests right across your eye line. An older man rides hunched over on his cart, though you can't tell what's in the back of it.
And are we able to just let him pass?
I would say, unless you guys do anything extreme, he probably won't even turn to notice you, but if you would like to be stealthy, you're welcome to roll a stealth to take cover.
Unless we do anything extreme.
I'm gonna throw a horse at him.
Because he's old. He's old and crotchety, and you can tell he's just trying to get wherever he's going.
All right. I mean, let's just hold up and let him pass, and then keep moving. We don't want to risk an old dude getting scared because he saw an orc.
True story.
No.
So what if though? Counter offer.
You guys hear Carl go. Yeah, you hear Carl go. Oh
I'll punch him in the face.
Okay.
I grab his nose. I grab his nose with my magical hand.
And he goes, as soon as you grab it, why don't you, I'll let you make a dexterity or some kind of reflex save to try to just, like, quiet his sneeze.
Whoa.
At an 11. You definitely grab his nose, but when you do, it does make a just, like, trumpeted, like, out of Carl's body. And the old man turns and goes, huh? And sees you down there. And he goes, "Oi! What are you doing walking up on an old man like that?" I don't know why he's drunk, but he is now. And he holds up a bottle to go along with it,
Just
you know.
me and Carl.
Did anybody want to take cover? I'll give you guys a chance to make a stealth roll if you want to try to hide.
I'm
Yeah, Tristan's not only terrible at that.
Okay.
Just like,
Great.
yeah.
So basically,
We're not gonna hide
I was about to say
anyway.
the five horses
Hide down the
stand on this basically the opposite side of the riverbank, and he kind of pulls his horses to a stop, and he's like, "Everything all right down there? You need some help?"
Just allergies. Trying to find somewhere to rest for the night.
Oh, well.
Ask him if he'd like to buy a moron.
He goes, "What was that there, Sonny?"
I like smack him in the shoulder.
Your accent, it sounds I've not heard around these parts before.
Yeah, they're from the Grand Duchy of Jeff.
I need you to make a deception roll.
Shit. Is that us or him?
Him. I need Tristan to make a deception roll.
I am from Jeff.
This is a great start because Tristan ain't a good liar.
Amazing.
Okay, well, the good news is that's an actual location, so it's not terribly hard to believe that they could possibly be from there. But he goes, "Oh, I didn't know that's how them there Jeffians sounded."
Now you do.
Yeah,
We've learned something today. We've all learned a lot, I think, today.
You hear him go, "Yeah, learn something." "Well, I'll learn you something."
Please.
And he points his moonshine jug the direction that he's actually headed, and he's like, "About a quarter mile that direction, you'll find yourself a bridge there, friends. I've heard through the proverbial grapevine that lots of travelers like to take up cover there under that bridge. You best get on it, though, because it's gonna rain." And you guys look up and the sky seems completely blue. Or in sunset mode. No clouds.
Mind if we ride alongside you, sir?
You mean down there?
I don't think that's a good idea.
What are you doing?
Carl goes,
He has
but,
moonshine.
you know that we're not really supposed to talk to strangers, Ricky.
I will. I won't. I'll kill him.
Whoa!
No, I said if I do that, I'll kill him. I switched my parts of the sentence. I just, you have liquor.
Oh, actually, in fact, I do, lassie. I don't know why I'm a pirate now. I got lots of it in the back. I got a whole kit caboodle of it in the back.
Yeah, it's a friendly conversation.
You're talking to a crazy drunken pirate.
Wow, Tristan, biased much?
Hey, look, you want liquor? I have liquor. We don't need to risk blowing our cover.
I have to agree with the human on this one. I don't think a couple barrels of liquor is gonna be worth the risk of looking at me and Dren,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you guys are whispering lots, and or maybe it's just my hearing.
I think it's just your hearing.
Oh, well then speak up, lassie. He yells really loud across the riverbed, and he says,
Thank you
He goes,
for the advice.
"As much as I'd like to stop and sell you some, the Ulick doesn't like me selling outside of licensed vendors."
Wow. Cool. I just, you have a good day. We're gonna get on that. Good advice. Good on you.
You should. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna just, what? And he kind of like, what? The horses pick up again, and he begins like trotting and sucking down on the jug he's got in his hand.
I'm trying to be a friendlier person. It's a personal journey of character growth or something.
Maybe pick your battles.
Did you want to fight him? We'd win.
No, he would die.
Yeah, no, I don't want to fight him. I do want to fight, but I'm trying not to, and I thought the liquor would help. But Dristan has liquor, which he's now told to the group. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a regret.
Yes. Hi.
That's Rick,
I did that.
Ricky's middle name. Ricky, instant regret, Thorngage.
Yeah.
So, what that person has spoke of, should we perhaps go there and get some information on maybe if they saw anything? I mean, I don't see why a little recon couldn't hurt.
Maybe these two and Carl go there, and we are not seen.
Yeah, we're gonna go sleep under a bridge, right? That's how we roll, apparently. And then, we can ask some people around Eubanks what's been going down. Yeah, that seems good. That's a plan.
Certainly something.
And at that, you guys set off down the riverbanks, continuing your story. Or chatting with one another. And you are, in fact, right, Ricky. We are headed towards Eubanks, which is this very, very small town that have a large bridge that crosses this embankment. That would be difficult to cross otherwise. It's more than half a mile. Old man has no concept of distance.
While we're riding, I just want to lean over to Dren and just kind of whisper in Orcish, like, is that what we've been afraid to fight? Like, referencing back to the old drunken guy.
Yes, I think had they not built their walls, this would be a very different story.
Interesting. You learn something new every day.
No. And friendships are gained, and Carl is more scared as you trot about more like 10 miles down the road, and you thought, you were like, where's this bridge? Where's this bridge? And you finally see it. And it is, in fact, a very large, beautiful stone bridge that crosses over this river. And just on the other side, you can see the bridge leads straight to the entrance of a small, quaint little stone town. Populated by dwarves. You can see kind of the evening hustle and bustle, but overall it's relatively quiet, and the sun is beginning to set. How do you guys want to... Are you want to go into the town, or do you want to stay under the bridge? I guess is really the question.
Right, I think we should go straight to the...
for Dren and Ural to go into the town.
Yeah. I think we'll just head for the bridge. I mean, if we're good on supplies, like, once we get settled, like, Ricky might go party a little. I don't know
how
how
far is the bridge from the city or the little town?
Oh, like hundreds of feet, maybe 800, maybe 900 feet or so. Like, it looks like this bridge was built to lead into this town.
Do we see any other people like under the bridge, or
actually, why don't you roll a perception, because you're still a little ways out, if you guys want to see if you see anything about the bridge itself.
Why would somebody sleep under the bridge when the town is right there?
Oh, there are plenty of reasons. Oh, damn, but I would never know, so it doesn't
Maybe
matter.
they like to play pranks on passersby, like they're trolls and you have to answer a riddle. I'd do that.
You turn into a billy goat at the front end, and by the time you
Billy
cross...
goat. Yeah, that's
I rolled a 4.
A 4. So at a 4, you don't see anything from the bridge. You're not sure if it's your height or your eyes or the fact that you're just a little uneasy walking into a dwarven town. Ricky, on the other hand, you see that you don't see anything under the bridge. It does look like the bridge is relatively empty, but there seems to be a rough organization to it, as if somebody has stacked rocks here to sit on, and there is an old campfire, like, pit that has been dug out. It seems to be a communal place where people gather.
I guess we can rest here for the night if we need be, and if you two, looking at the halfling and the human and Carl, want to, well, for whatever reason, venture off to this town, we'll just be here. We should be well hidden in the dark. Shouldn't have any problems.
No, I'm staying here.
All right. The embankment does. It looks like there's a small path that somebody has beaten down. The area where the river actually flows under the bridge is very light. It's more like a little creek at this point. So you could be on either side of it and simply walk across it. You guys are able to tie horses up, make yourself comfortable. Night begins to fall as you kind of gather yourself. Carl runs about, gathers stuff to make a fire. And he says, there's not enough down here, so I'm gonna go just off over there into the woods and pick up some sticks.
No, you're not, you dummy. No, you're not.
Would you like to come with me?
I would not, Carl. Carl, remember how gnolls live in the woods? Do you don't remember that conversation?
Well, I thought since we were this close to a town, we just might be... and
no.
the fire would scare him off, right?
Okay, how old is Carl? Because I need to, like...
He's probably...
In
actuality, he might be 14. He's trying to probably play
Oh,
off
wow.
like he's 16 or 17.
Oh, I feel bad now for telling him.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Wow,
like...
we're horrible people.
Yeah, I thought he was like a teenager, like 18
He's
or
trying to
19.
make...
Like
I was about to say, he enlisted and lied about his age.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Okay. I don't like children, so this doesn't affect me at all. Great. Carl, let me just explain something to you. You know, did your mom ever tell you fairy tales?
Oh yeah, I remember this one I liked a lot. It was about a kid who climbed a beanstalk, and there was treasure at the top.
Kids
So my favorite one, right? My favorite one was about the little boy, right? Little boy, we'll call him.
Carl.
Yep, that's a good one. You're good with names that are perfect for the situation. Let's call him Carl. One day, Carl had a perfectly safe place to stay with all his traveling companions, right?
Yeah.
And then Carl decided, you know what would be great is going off into the woods by myself. And then a whole pack of these dog-headed creatures kidnapped Carl. Right? They dragged him away from a path. No, it's really great. And then they brought him to their like lair, right? And then they ate him, but they ate him slowly.
They ate
Right?
him.
Yeah, they cut him open and they ate like parts of him that he didn't need. Like you only need like one of a certain organ, right? They ate that, and then they like slowly, like they made his skin into jerky, and they fried it while he was still alive in front of him.
Gnolls are very resourceful in this fairy tale.
Yes.
Well, it is.
I'm gonna head over right next to Carl and put my hand on his shoulder.
He hops like as soon as you touch him. Where's the happy ending?
I like this story, and you wanted to prove yourself, right? Well, this is obviously me jokingly saying it. The fire could use some firewood.
Thank you out there for cheering for. I'm gonna hopefully cheer. You're cheering for Carl. Cheers for Carl. He goes, does your fairy tale have a happy ending?
Oh yeah. The gnolls were very satisfied with their meal. It lasted a long time.
Is this a no fairy tale?
It has gnolls in it.
He looks like.
We're bonding over being really shit to a 14-year-old.
Carl looks up at Ural, looks back at Ricky, looks over to Dren, and then ends at Dristan, who he feels like maybe he could trust. And goes,
Yeah.
Is that true?
Leave the poor kid alone. We got a long ride. Quit harassing him. Let's
I
eat
let go of
and
Carl
get some
for a
sleep.
I was gonna make some stew. I just need to get some sticks from the woods.
Oh, you should go do that.
Okay.
Carl.
And Carl
Carl.
scutters up begins to scutter up the embankment.
I go with him, stupid. Yo.
I
was-
kind of sit down laughing a little bit, chuckling to myself.
I'll start like setting up a camp for us under the bridge.
Cool. So Carl and Ricky make it to the edge of the woods very, very quickly, just a few hundred feet. And he begins kind of scuffling through the underbrush. What would you like to do?
I am scanning
Okay.
the woods, not more than like 10 feet away from him at any given moment.
I was about to say, it is dark, so why don't you just roll me a perception and see if you
Yeah.
see anything.
Put my goggles down. Natural 20!
Oh, shit, a natural 20? Okay.
Yeah.
It's not what you see, it's what you hear. You hear a creature, something is struggling off in the distance. Holy cow, a 27. By the sound of it,
Mm-hmm.
By the sound of it, it seems to be some kind of, it's definitely an animal, not a monster or anything like that, but it is whelping as if it has been injured.
Aw.
About how far away does it sound?
Ooh, it's deeper in the woods. I would say at a 27, your ears are picking up on quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 200, 300, 400 feet deeper in the woods.
Carl.
What? He like holds a stick up.
You feeling brave?
Maybe. He hugs the bundle of sticks to his chest. Don't we want to take this back?
I just want to check something out. So you can either go back
Okay.
or you can walk in with me.
How far are they from our camp, by the way?
Not far at all. Basically what you're looking at is the bridge kind of overhangs a small like divot into the ground. So there are embankments up about 7 or 8 feet. And they're off 50 feet in the woods from where you are. So if you rolled a perception, you might be able to pick up on their conversation. It would just be kind of chunky.
Could I just use my dark vision to kind of like keep an eye on them?
Yeah, we
as
could say,
a map?
yeah, you kind of crawl up the embankment and stand at the edge of the bridge, overlooking both the encampment below and kind of where they just entered into the woods. You would be able to pick up on them, and you see Ricky kind of is looking around, scouting, and she tips her head when her ear picks something up.
Okay, I just wanted to keep an eye on.
Are you gonna go in, Ricky? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I just, Carl, do you want to come with or do you want to go back?
Well, I can't let you go by yourself. It's not very gentlemanly of me.
Wow. What's the name of that girl you have a crush on?
Her name is Carla. She's the love of my life.
Okay. I don't know why I asked that, actually. I think I had a point, but then I forgot.
Why?
So,
Isn't it the most beautiful name?
no.
Oh, I think it's just glorious.
So are you, okay, you're
Yeah, I'm
coming with.
coming, and he's like tripping over and crunching through branches as he follows.
No, you're not. You stay behind me. You
Oh.
walk where I walk.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
That's how this works.
He holds a branch out like a weapon in front of him.
You don't have a sword?
I left it at camp.
Carl, if I tell you to run, you're gonna run back and you're gonna follow these breadcrumbs.
What crumbs?
Just like take some of like suppose like rations and I like the bread part and just like crumble.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard that fairy tale?
What
The
about
one with the breadcrumbs.
that's a fairy tale?
Yeah, there was this little boy and little girl. Their names were, let's see, Carl and Carla.
What?
And one day they went into the woods, but they didn't follow their good pal Ricky,
What?
right? And they got lost and they didn't know where the breadcrumbs were. And they wandered into this hag's house, right? And she put them in cages and she fattened them up and then she ate them.
What? He
Yep,
says
the
really
end.
loud. You guys hear a squeak from the woods back
No.
at Kevin going, what? And he grabs his like, I'm sorry.
Damn me. Damn my mouth. Carl, go back.
And about that time, you guys have kind of been trailing. You have actually come across it, and there's a small clearing. There is a wolf, a very large wolf, probably male, whose foot has been trapped in a bear trap. Its back leg, and it's trying to like get away, and the chain that's attaching it to the ground is keeping it in place, and it's trying to rip its leg free of whoever set this trap here in the underbrush. And Carl goes, "What? Look!" and points behind you.
Yeah, no, I see it. So Carl, you're gonna help me real quick.
No, I'm scared. Oh, that's a wolf.
Oh, you heard the story about the wolf? Come with me and help me open this trap.
But it only needs us.
What? It's got a bum leg.
Okay. You first?
Yeah, me first. Okay, I'm gonna try to pry open the bear trap.
As you approach, the wolf gnarls and growls at you. In instant.
Do the thing from Jurassic World.
Make an animal handling check to try to communicate with it.
I'll try. Wait, do I have anything for this? I don't know.
Carl.
22.
Oh, and a 22. Yeah, you sure do. You walk up and you're like, shh. And Carl goes, "We're here to help you, Mr. Wolf."
This is not a talking wolf, Carl.
Oh. And the wolf, like, it stops kind of growling at you, and you hear that faint whimper in its voice. And you will need to make a strength check to try to open this. Or an athletics if you get the proficiency.
I do. Is Carl helping me?
Of course he is.
Great.
Roll at disadvantage.
So 21.
Yeah. You definitely, between the two of you, pop it open, and the wolf quickly pulls its leg free, and you see that it has, in fact, the leg is broken. And the bone is kind of sticking out, and it hobbles that back leg and drags itself to the edge of the woods and stares at you from afar with these big eyes. Carl goes, "Wow, its eyes, like, they look so real and human." And about that time, the wolf begins to transform from wolf form into an elf, actually, which is odd for this area. And you can see that the elf, when it transforms out of wolf back, still carries the injury, and it, kind of pulls its leg up and it looks at you behind these deep, deep blue eyes.
It's got real.
Sup?
I imagine we're just shooting, like sitting in awkward silence at camp.
Actually, we cut back and you see, since you're standing there, you watch as the two of them go deeper into the woods. How far is your vision? What's your
60 feet.
60 feet, yeah. You watch as they disappear beyond your sight line.
I wanna like move as close as possible while keeping that max range of 60.
Okay.
Just so it's just barely visible.
Do you want to do it silently?
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll the stealth. The other two gentlemen at camp, what are you guys busy doing while this is happening and taking place?
I think we're both setting up, right?
Yeah, setting up camp.
I got 19.
You guys watch. Okay, cool. You guys will see, not Tristan. You guys will see Ural kind of step away from your area. You'll hear his feet to walk away.
Ural.
What?
Is everything okay?
Yes. I'll just be a moment. You just don't mind me.
Okay.
And the he kind of scutters off, and you follow them, and you maintain your 60-foot radius and see exactly this. They help a wolf out, and the wolf transitions, and Carl lets out a yelp. Oh my! That was a. What? The elf seems almost feral in nature a little bit. It still like pants kind of like a dog under the injury that it has.
Sup?
It is a female. Her hair is in like an interesting like mohawk almost. It stands on end and is gray and black. And she stands herself up against a tree as much as she can with the leg injury. She says, "Thank you for your help."
You're welcome. I'm Ricky. This is Carl. Carl, don't talk.
Oh, that's all you get out of Carl. And she says, "You're not here to hurt me."
Let me check. And I like pull out a little like notepad and like flip it open. I don't think so.
Oh,
No.
I'm going to go now. Thank you for your kindness, but I must be getting out of here. And she
Who's
turns
trying
to
to hurt you?
She kind of stops with her back to you, and you hear her say, "They try to hurt everything.
Who?
The Brotherhood." She kind of turns her head over her shoulder, and you catch her eyes again. Pain definitely still in them from the broken leg bone that she has. And she says, "If you're traveling these roads at night, trust no one. They set these traps."
Have you seen like a drunken old man who kind of talks like a pirate?
Everybody's seen him. He travels to and fro up and down the river.
Cool. Well, if you promise not to freak out, we have like a camp you could come to, and I think someone there could probably fix your leg up.
Camp? You're inviting me back to your camp?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like a casual thing. It's like, I mean, your hair's pretty cool.
She like looks up in the night sky, and the wind is kind of beginning to whip through the trees. You can hear it howling, and it pushes the clouds back, and you see that the moon is full.
Tight.
And she says, "It may not be safe."
For you or for me? You're looking up, you were a wolf. I'm like piecing this together.
Yeah. She says, "For both of us. I must be getting back to my people. They will worry where I am."
Oh, where are you guys? Just so I know.
She kind of turns her head deeper into the forest, and she says, "We do not make ourselves known. We are a personal favorite game for hunting the dwarves in this area."
Oh.
But she turns and points at the bear trap. She says, "But that's not the dwarves."
Shit. Politics are complicated.
She kind of lets out a little chuckle, actually.
She like that.
And she says, "They are something. Take care of yourself, Ricky and Tiny Carl.
Yep.
I owe you a debt of gratitude."
Yeah. Tight. What's your name? Just, I'm going to put it in my other notebook. That's not the people I'm trying to hurt.
"My name. Do you want my wolf name or my given name?"
I want whatever you want to give me. Actually.
She laughs and says, "Ricky, you are a light in the darkness."
Nobody has ever said anything that nice to me.
She does turn herself all the way around so that she faces you when she says her name. And she says, "My name is Alera."
Cool. Cool.
She says, "You travel with 2 orcs."
You smell them on me?
I could smell them a mile away.
Oh, those are good senses.
We had a bath.
No, I know. They're very clean. Those are good senses.
She says, "You should take care. You seem to be headed south."
Uh-huh. What should we be wary of?
These politics you speak of, the ones that my people try to avoid, they are beginning to pour into our woods, into our lands. No longer can we ignore them. The dwarven people have taken up hunting goblins, gnolls, and orcs. They represent fair game since Tarashmak has started marching. If you call these orcs friends, you should watch your back, or there will be quite a few people hunting you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'm used to being the hunter, so this is... it is not a pleasant feeling the other way around. I have to...
She says,
Thank you.
my life for yours, to help yours. We are even now.
Yeah, that seems like a... Yeah, like, yeah, it's an okay trade. Thank you. So... can't catch you later? Or not, probably.
She turns her back again to you and she says, that is funny. I hope not. And you see, as she begins to walk off into the woods, yellow eyes appear in the darkness as if her pack has found her. And she exits. It will be the first one that kind of exits your eyesight, of course, is going to be Ural, since you're farthest away. And all the eyes included disappeared into the darkness. And you guys basically are left standing in the middle of this small clearing, I guess you could say.
We should get back to camp.
Carl goes, that would be great!
Yeah. I'm going to watch for bear traps on the way back.
Good call. You don't see any more. It seems like this one was pretty readily set. And you guys hop skip very easily. Do you wait on them?
No, I head back. I head back, hoping that just to avoid them completely.
When you return, it's funny because the gentlemen have already started up the fire. Carl carried back limbs and twigs probably for no reason. It took you guys a little bit longer than I think planned. You do begin, sitting around the fire, the lot of you taking in the evening air. Do you tell them what happened? Your other two party members.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'll tell them. Oh, go ahead.
No, I had a story for you, Dren. Do you want to hear it?
Always.
Oh, great. Sweet. Cool. So once upon a time, Ricky, the awesome halfling, went into the woods with someone, we'll call him Carl. And Ricky heard something and she wanted to investigate, like a wounded animal. And then Ricky, and she took Carl with her because Carl can't fend for himself.
He goes, I know this story.
Yeah, we just experienced it.
Oh, okay.
Listen to Dretch. So we went into the woods, right, and we found this wolf who had been by a bear trap, and we pried it open because I don't know, I'm feeling altruistic like this month. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't have a job right now, so maybe that's it. When you remove capitalism, a lot changes. So we freed the wolf. Yes, we freed it. And then it was a person. It was like a hot person. It was like she had a mohawk. And we saved her life. And she went and hung out with her pack of people. And she told us a lot of good information, like don't trust anyone around here. And also the dwarves will probably hunt us if they see your orcs. The end.
Like this story.
Yeah, it wasn't like a typical 3-act structure, but I'm working on it.
Short fiction is a developing medium.
Yeah. I think of it more like sequences when I tell a story.
If you will.
Yeah.
So Carl goes, I've never seen anybody change into a wolf before.
I
Now you
suspect there are lots of things you haven't seen.
What do you mean?
I suspect there are lots of things you haven't seen.
I could think of at least one.
Campsite banter tonight goes right over Carl's head. And he sits there bright-eyed and bushy-tailed taking in everything you guys talk about. And you see Carl sits around the fire and writes in a little journal, writing down all of the events that happened tonight, the amazing things that he's seen. And he's actually sketching a version of this wolf that you saw, this wood elf, if you would.
Can he draw? Is he any good?
It's actually relatively decent drawing.
Aww.
Yeah, he's like sketched it out.
Sweet little Carl.
Sweet little Carl. Carl says, I don't mean to not be brave or anything, but somebody gonna keep watch?
Yep, that'll be me.
Well, we could split the watch if need be.
Seems smart.
Well, I'm not going to stay up all night.
Right.
Carl goes in. You can tell his shoulders drops a little bit, and the tension leaves his body when he hears that Dristan is going to stay up for the evening. And yeah, so you guys don't have to take watch unless you're ready or head to bed. But it does seem that the town itself has quieted down. It's gotten very quiet, and Carl falls asleep drawing in his journal.
I want to, while he's sleeping, I want to sneak up and like draw inappropriate things in his journal.
Okay.
I think Dren would try and stop you doing that.
Oh. Okay.
That seems a step too far.
So why don't you both make a dex? You could also make a sleight of hand if you wanted to, Ricky, if you get the proficiency in sleight of hand.
Okay.
Well,
Do
I'd
you
not
want me to?
physically stop you. I think you would just be like, "Are you sure that is the best thing to do? It seems this is the only thing the boy is good at. Let's not go with it."
And he has a very cute little drawing of the wolf. And he also writes in it. It's as much a diary as it is like a sketchbook, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So if you roll the sleight of hand, let's see. Did you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. One Stren says that I'm not gonna draw anything, but I am interested in like just seeing like what he wrote, because that shouldn't get intercepted, probably, depending on what he wrote.
It's a good idea. You check
We can
through.
redact some information.
Yeah.
Yeah, you check through as Carl like snores.
Mhm.
I don't know why he sounds like an old man, but he does. He's got sleep apnea, and he bobs. The quill kind of falls to his lap as you slide the book out.
Mm-hmm.
He does talk about the events of the evening and writes about it. He writes about each of you individually, cute, quaint little things. He still doesn't trust the two orcs, he writes, but he says that he likes Ricky.
Oh, why?
He says that nobody's ever talked to him as much as Ricky does.
Oh,
Oh
poor Carl.
no.
Carl's just the softest little sad boy.
Yeah, soft sad boy. He even wrote in there, I hope one day that Carla and I can talk as much as Ricky and I do. Maybe we can be friends like that. Period.
Carla doesn't know he exists.
She has
No.
probably no idea. And he says, like I said, he kind of writes about things. Do you want to flip back, or you just want to read tonight's writings?
I don't know that I should just. Yeah. What else is in here?
Yeah, you kind of flip through. It's interesting. While the battle at Celine Pass was happening, he was recounting things. Do you share that with anybody, or are you going to share it out loud so everybody knows, or is this just you flipping through it, Ricky?
If I see something interesting, I'll say it to whoever else is still up.
Okay. Why don't you just roll me an investigation to see if you can find the interesting bits? Let's see how, if you can quickly find it.
14.
At a 14. You flip, and it's actually about a few weeks by date, maybe a month or so back. Carl is writing about a conversation he overheard Captain Buttflap Jack having, or Captain Jack Buttflap.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It seems that he may be a better listener than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl writes, Captain Jack was talking tonight about how nobody trusts the Fae Queen anymore. I wonder what a Fae Queen looks like. I think she has wings. And he kind of like gets down on a tangent. He goes, but he said that there's an uprising that the men in black cloaks, why cloaks that? It's not a modern reference. The men in black cloaks, she's working for them.
Huh. 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 Okay. I put it back. I haven't told anybody about the Dark Brotherhood yet, because
Okay.
that's what it's called.
It's
called the Dark Brotherhood now.
They fist bump one another and have like that's now canon. Our Dark
I
Brotherhood
just killed
will
that
fist
guy.
bump.
Yeah.
Tight.
Pop your
Yeah.
collars, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't told anybody about them yet because
Yeah.
I'm really. Who's up besides me right now?
I believe I'm taking first watch, so
Mhm.
Dristan
Yeah.
for sure.
I believe I'm currently still up, just kind of having difficulty sleeping with everything, just kind of sitting down, relaxing.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what time it is. Like, I would have no problem just getting to sleep if.
Yeah. So I would probably say at this point it is later in the day or in the evening, so we probably past the midnight point if you would. We're kind of moving into the witching hour. So yeah, you kind of heard that. Carl's definitely asleep and has kind of tipped over on a log under the bridge, and you hear the crack of thunder off in the distance. It is in fact going to rain.
Oh no.
Okay.
Or at
Crazy old
least-
man was right.
Crazy
Yeah.
old man was right. Yeah, so there, I guess just the two of them are still awake. That would be Dristan and Ural.
Cool.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just mulling all this over. So I'm gonna curl up in a little shadowy part of the bridge because I'm so tiny. So I'm gonna find like a little nook as best I can and like curl up there.
Okay. Yeah, you quickly find a little nook and you curl up. You guys watch Ricky. She flips through. It does take you quite a while, probably an hour or so, to just like find the good bits of information.
Yeah.
You slip it back and she curls up. What about you, Ural? You don't have first watch, so.
Would I be able to tell anything about Drax just by looking at him to see like, because I mean I'm pretty sure we don't know much about him, or I don't know much about him.
You
So
mean
just based off of,
Dristan?
like- yeah, Dristan. Sorry, Dristan.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the names all.
What are you
Um,
dressed in, Dristan? Yeah, that's actually a good question.
What was that?
What are you dressed in? Anything that would give information away, or do you? Yeah.
So Dristan dresses like, I guess currently there's no armor because we're chilling for the night. He dresses like comfortably, but most of his clothes are also stained with soot and like patched. They don't look new. They're all kind of like, it's like, oh, clearly here something got cut or something got torn, but it's been hemmed or sewn back together, and a lot of them are stained with soot or just various things from the forge. His hands are really calloused and have like probably some burn scars on them in a few places, but the thing that I guess would probably be most prominent is the holy symbol around his neck that is a shield. It doesn't look super fancy, in the same way that like his armor and his shield and his weapon are nice, but they're well made. Not that there's a lot of ostentatious filigree or anything like that. It doesn't look like the ridiculous dwarven armor you always see. That's like, oh, this is the height of craftsmanship, and it's got all sorts of little intricate inlay. Like, no, his stuff's really good, but it's very plain. It's just well made. And yeah, he's probably sitting by that fire, smoking a pipe, and just kind of humming to himself as his eyes are watching out. He's on watch. But other than that, he's a big guy with a beard.
Big guy with a beard.
So I mean, yeah, and the holy symbol around his neck is dedicated to Kundo, because Greyhawk has weird names for everything.
Yeah, right. Why don't you, if you wanted to roll a religion or a history to see if you know what that is, if you wanted to.
Me, right?
Yep. Yes. I'm sorry.
Why
you're
am I
all.
so dumb. Damn it.
Nope, that one. The symbol, you can tell it's a holy symbol. There is no doubt about that. What it is, you have absolutely no clue. It's definitely nothing of orc nature, and it's just outside of your wheelhouse of knowledge. But you could always ask him about it if it sparks your interest.
You there? I seem to have misplaced your name. What was it again?
Dristan.
That the neck piece you wear. I'm not familiar with the symbol of it, but I do have a little bit of understanding of, I guess, a higher power, if you would. May I ask what it is?
He kind of picks up the shield and lets it fall back to his chest with a soft thump. Says, "Symbol of my god."
God. Kundo.
Yes.
And what is Kundo the god of?
I suppose you would not have heard of him. Kundo is god of building, noise, music. He's a protector. His is the song of metal on metal, the roar of thunder and rains on rooftops, songs sung by workers. He is the rhythm of work and the song we carry in our hearts as we carry it out.
Rhythm of work. Huh. That's quite a description for a god. And I like kind of eye his equipment a little bit and then back to him. What would a messenger of Kundo be doing at the gates? Basically in the front line.
I'm a pious man. This is true. But I have a gift with metal. I'm a blacksmith by trade. They needed horses shoed, walls built, breastplates polished, swords sharpened. As for why I was on the front line, well, everyone else was dead.
Everyone else was dead. So they brought a blacksmith to the front. Huh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Find that so unbelievable?
I find anything of your race unbelievable, to be honest. However, it's not my place to think about your race, you know. I was just curious. I find it interesting of a man who worships work, which is very respectable, to be in the front with a blade, ready to slay those who are just marching for freedom.
I did no slaying. And let me be clear, I was not a willing participant. I'm not here by choice.
Oh, this is where his eyes kind of like perk up a little bit. See, now this is where it's interesting. You said you are not willing. So were you forced? Was it some sort of order from your, I guess, lords?
Tristan sits up and puffs on his pipe a little more. And he says, "Why do you find this so interesting? What is it you want to know?"
I have always been a believer of equal playgrounds. However, being a soldier of the front, I've never get to see from the other perspective. So my questions are merely educational. I mean, if you don't want to answer, it's completely okay.
If you must know, I was conscripted. I was not offered a choice.
Huh.
Simple as that.
I didn't think your race did that, to be honest.
You fight for the king or desert and die. Is what it is. Not much I can do to change it.
Well, that sounds familiar. Well, I just, again, was just curious in your, I guess, mental, your idealisms of to see if I had to worry, if anything, there's not much humans that would be willing to travel with us happily, if that makes sense.
It's not like we have much of a choice.
I guess. It's good to be safe, though.
I won't stick a knife in your ribs while you sleep if that's what you're worried about.
That was exactly. Thank you. Just all right. That's it. Thank you. I kind of like slick back a little bit and just like kind of poke at the fire.
Yeah, it's kind of the remaining coals, the embers that burn bright in the night. And as the two of you kind of fall to silence, just in finishing up his first watch, and you're all you sitting there trying to maybe get some shut eye or at least some rest for your body, especially since you have only been in battle hours prior. You hear something, the sound of maybe footsteps on the upper embankment heading your direction, the opposite way in which all of you came. Sounds to be about 3, maybe 4 people. They don't seem to be moving with a lot of sound. They seem to be attempting to pass by pretty quietly. And that is where we're going to take a break as somebody walks up on encampment, because I need a bio, and I'm sure all of you out there do too. For those of you that just stopped in, thank you. Sorry, we're about to head to a break. We'll be back here in less than 10 minutes probably. To finish out the night with the last hour as we continue our journey. So, yeah, things happened. We had lots of talking. Carl's even more confused than he once was. And we met an interesting race of people. So, yeah, some things for us to think about. Till we get back, don't go anywhere. Take a 10, get something to drink. I'm going to refill my coffee, and we'll be back at it here in about 10 minutes. So, let me transition us out here, friends. And here we go. everybody. We are back.
Hello.
Good thing I wasn't sharing behind the scenes conversations.
Nothing wrong with what we were talking
Nothing
about.
wrong at all.
That's a Patreon bonus.
Well, welcome back to the Birthright of the Pomarj. We are at the second half of today's story. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Greyhawk channel. I am Little Red Dot, your DM, and we are in fact playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons inside of the Greyhawk world. Interesting things. Some campfire side stories that scared the pants off of my poor little human boy. Some strange shape-shifting elf situation, and we learned a little bit more about our mysterious Dristin right before the break. And as Drin, Ural, you begin to nod off around the campfire after having this conversation with Dristin. And things begin to get quiet. It is the sound of approaching footsteps. They don't seem to be on the path, but the quiet of the night, with only the crickets to meet you, the footsteps in the woods are inevitable. You can't miss them.
Mm-hmm.
Dristin, you're on point, so you definitely hear this as well.
Okay. It's late. Like real late, right? Or real early, depending on how you think about it. Oh, am I? No, I'm not muted.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. It's about. I would say it's about 3 a.m.
Okay, and they're coming towards us.
Yep. So you can even peek at the map. I'll kind of give you a quickie.
You said it was from the opposite direction we came.
Correct.
They're headed the way we came, so they're coming from the town.
It looks to be that they are following this path. I just put a purple line. Headed towards the bridge where you're at.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, people take refuge beneath this bridge a lot, apparently. So I'm just gonna kind of wait it out, but I'll keep my shield nearby just in case.
Do you guys put the fire out or anything? Or are you just gonna leave everything kind of burning?
I'm good to just leave it going.
Okay.
Have you woken anyone, or is
you're all's up with me, right?
I'm like dazing in and out.
Yeah, he's like nodding in and out.
Cool.
Nah, I don't want to make a big thing and then maybe these people are like, hey, what's that? And then they come to investigate and they're like, oh, orcs. Maybe they'll just pass us by or who knows what, they're not going to go pull back the sleeping bag of some people and be like, hey, you got orcs here. So I'll wait a moment to see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, you take point. Your perception heightened as you almost like peer over the embankment that you're you guys are inside of. And as you peer over, do you have dark vision? You're human.
I do not. I'm
you
just
do
a
not.
human.
Your eyes basically can only see the kind of path you guys took in across to the bridge and where the forest begins. Whatever it is in the forest.
Okay.
And it's like quickly crossing in the just the interior of it.
And is it coming to us?
It gets about, I would say it gets parallel to you, if you would, there in the woods. You can hear the footprints like crunch, 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 crunch. 4 or 5 sets of them, and they stop right at the bridge.
Okay.
That's not ominous.
Yeah, I'm not going to go out and check it out. I'm going to stay here, and I'm on watch. So I guess I'll make a perception check to see if I can see anything. Which is not going to go well.
That's all right. We'll give it a shot. You may not see anything. You might hear something, though.
Exactly.
Whoa! Yeah. You had that moment where you're like, my eyes are just.
Oh, hey, cool. I got a 20.
Yeah, I was about to say, your eyes. You had that moment where you're like, no, my eyes are going to deceive me. So you close your eyes and listen to what you hear. It is not the sound of human feet. They are larger than that. Okay. And you can hear the breathing of large creatures in the woods just on the other side. And they speak in some language. Do you?
I speak common. I don't. Do you get?
Yeah.
You don't get bonus language. So I come from like Pathfinder in 3.5, where you got bonus languages for like high int and stuff. I don't think that's the same in 5th.
What's your background?
There you go.
My background was folk hero.
I don't think so.
I don't think you get.
So.
I don't think you get
as
a
far
bonus
as I know,
for
I
folk
speak
hero.
common.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So whatever is being spoken is outside of your knowledge. As they.
Alrighty, that's a little unnerving, but maybe nothing to be totally worried about. I mean, I don't speak Orc, and these guys whisper a lot, so.
That's true.
I'm a little concerned at this point. So I'm gonna go like, all right, these guys got dark vision. I'm gonna go wake up Dren because you're all weirds me out a little bit.
Cool.
All right.
I'm gonna go nudge Dren awake, and like not even like get down and like, oh hey buddy, I need you. Like I kind of back up, and now I've got the shield on, and I just kind of like, without turning away from the direction of this stuff, back up and just kind of nudge him with the heel of my boot, like hey, get up.
Cool. Dren would wake quite easily.
Yeah.
Having
You come to
Assault,
and you
yeah.
see he's on point, shield ready and everything.
Cool. So I'll, weapon up and go take a look. I won't say anything.
You do have dark vision, yes?
I do have dark vision.
From where you are, you can see about 10 feet into the woods.
Cool. Do I see anything of interest?
You do. Something about your dark vision allows you to see the silhouettes of some kind of creature. Definitely humanoid in that it stands on 2 feet, but its shape is that more animalistic, maybe fur, claws, and one of them turns, and when they do, you see the silhouette of their mouth in the light, the moonlight that passes through the trees, and there's a snout. And it communicates to them.
Do I understand what it's saying?
What languages do you speak?
Speak. Let me double check for you. Orcish, Common, Dwarven, Infernal, and that's it.
Probably not.
No, cool. So I just very, very softly say to Dristan, wake the others. We have company.
Cool. I'm gonna go around and again just
Don't
kind of do
wake
that
Carl.
same tactic of backing up and then nudging him with the heel of my boot.
Okay.
I'll start with Ricky and then do Ural last.
Okay.
Ricky doesn't move at all. Her eyes just pop open, like immediately alert, but not even moving a muscle. It's creepy.
Everything about Ricky's creepy.
Carl still sleeps soundly. He's not noticed anything.
You're all kind of like, okay, what? And then he just instantly just grabs whatever he can grab near him, which
Once Ural's up, I'll just point.
Okay. I'm gonna have everybody, now that all 4 of you awake, everybody roll a stealth for me. Since you're kind of peering over this embankment, I need to make sure you don't, rip a root free or something.
Oh shit.
Oh,
good
damn.
God, that was terrible.
Well,
Let out a
moving
yawn.
I was about to say, Ricky just got up. There's definitely, you guys make some noise as you rustle yourselves awake and try to grab your gear. Yeah. And you hear exactly and see, especially if you have dark vision, what they see. The same shape. There's about 4 of them there in the woods. And they hold weapons. All 4 of them do. And there seems to be one that is communicating with the other. Does anybody speak No?
No.
Nope.
Nah.
Nope.
I was hoping they'd speak Infernal.
The only one that manages to stay completely quiet, surprisingly enough, is the one who just woke. And Ural, you know that this is bad news. Why don't actually our 2 orcs, you guys would know what a knoll is. You know what a knoll is because gnolls hunt half-orcs.
Okay.
They are, they like to take trophies. They're a warrior race. And you guys watch as they begin sniffing the air.
Do I see them like looking like is it noticeable that they know that we're here or?
They have stopped right in front of it. They are pretty sure that they have found you. If they were searching for you, they found you. I don't know that they know you're awake yet.
Can I I don't want to go attack them, but can I ready myself so if they come close, we can bring some pain down?
Yeah, you guys ready yourselves, and you're kind of against the embankment. You're like peering up, so you could also hide there, like pull yourself tight to it. Carl is still sleeping sound, and he lets out a quaint snore, which doesn't turn out to be too quaint at all. And one of the gnolls goes and looks straight at the bridge, and the one that's leading or was speaking steps out into the moonlight, just his foot first, and you see the paw-like foot as it crests into the path, and it steps out, sword in hand, whatever it's wielding, and it does wear armor, and it kind of peers around looking to see that it's nobody's around, if that makes sense.
I kind of lower myself a little bit, trying to like hide it a little bit and just like whisper so that Ricky and Tristan, Tristan, I just like whisper, like I just say no, and then I kind of like try to point at Carl, and be like, shut him up.
I didn't move, so I go back to I'm probably closest to Carl, so I go back and like put my hand over his face, just staying low to the ground.
Right, and you cup your face, and he begins to not breathe, and he sits up, and it looks up, and he sees the shadow of the gnoll casting off the embankment down onto the riverbed where all of you sit. The sword, you hear it unsheath in silence.
Yeah, I'm staying quiet too. I kind of from behind her, kind of stuck in her pants, she pulls out a sickle, like a really vicious looking sickle.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And she's just kind of standing in front of Carl, the way like if the gnoll came down between him and the gnoll. But she's gonna try to like press them against the bridge and get into the shadows.
Cool. Carl needs to probably make a stealth as well.
Yeah, now that we're moving, I don't know if you want me to make.
Yeah, why don't the both of you, we'll say you've already made one, but you can make another one since you're moving with him. Carl's not terribly dexterous, but he rolls a 13. He does okay for having just okay. And all of you pull kind of into the shadow where the moonlight is casting it down across the riverbed under the bridge. And the rest of the gnolls step up. You can see their shadows cast over. One of them stops speaking gnoll and begins to speak common.
About how far from us are they?
Oh, they're like just up the embankment, so not even 20 feet. They stand kind of at the mouth of the bridge above you. And one of them speaks in common. We know you're here. Come out, come out.
Oh, I'm so conflicted.
Right, it's like, I really want to sass them, but also, I don't want to give away our exact position.
Decisions.
I'm just waiting.
I just kind of look at Urol and go.
Okay.
So would we know, like, obviously there were gnolls fighting with Turashmak.
There are gnolls that fight with Turashmak.
Yeah. Would it be safe to assume that gnolls in this area, like, is it something? Would I assume that gnolls in this area might have been splintered off from Turashmak's army, or would it make sense that they would not be affiliated with him?
If there are gnolls on this side of the, kind of hills and mountains, because of course, like if I you can zoom out and see the map, the peninsula in which you came from is significantly farther east. On this side, this is dwarf land. Like this,
So
most
chances
yeah.
are,
If they're
so
here, they've
nothing
broken
will
off from Turash and don't believe in his ways more than likely.
Ah, okay.
Okay, I might go try and talk to them.
You're more than welcome to.
So I kind of hold up a hand to the others, and I'll say very quietly to Urol, just make sure you have my back. And I'll sheath my weapon and step up and out and kind of announce myself to the gnolls.
Nice. When you step out, one of them goes, I knew it. I told you there was an orc here. But they don't attack you.
What is your business here?
The leader steps up and he does sheath his sword. He says, well, we should ask you the same, orc.
You should, but I asked first.
These are our hunting grounds.
And what are you hunting?
Different things. Depends on the season.
So which season do you find yourselves in?
It's half-orc season.
As I hear that, I kind of like get very, very like tense and agitated, but still
You're a full orc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of I still like wait for his signal, but I'm like very tense and kind of shaking.
So my intention is to kind of convince them that I'm on their side, sort of. So as they say half orc, I just kind of spit filth. You will find none of their kind with us.
Roll a deception.
Ugh.
Yay!
Because
Come
you are
on,
lying
Bart.
to him. You're lying to him. Nice. He goes, you hear the three gnolls behind them go, "Hua!" together, raising their fists, and he says, right, dirty half-orcs.
There are some. You know of Turash Mark.
And he spits this time. I don't know if a gnoll can spit, but they do.
His army suffered a terrible defeat up in the hills, and there are some half-orcs who have fled to this side. You may find some prey to the north.
I see. Thank you, brother, for your guidance. We have not heard of Tarash's defeat.
It was glorious.
Deserved. I hope that all orcs or half-orcs that stood with him fell.
Thousands fell, and there are thousands more in the hills waiting for your weapons.
We heard that the queen herself has denounced you, Link.
I had not heard that. That pleases me.
What brings you to this side of the mountains?
Same as you, brother. Picking off the scraps of Toroshmok's army.
The hunt. Well, you do good work, friend. We shall move on. But be wary. Hey, there are strange elves afoot.
Elves are no match for the orcs or the gnolls.
He gives you this look in his eye, and he says, but these ones are. And he looks at his three brethren behind him and gives them the motion to move down the road. And they begin walking ahead of him, and he stops and takes a step closer towards the edge of the embankment to look down at you. He sniffs the air again. He says, I smell a human.
Slaves for the markets.
Must have passed through here recently. Sleep well, friend, and I hope you find something better than a breach tomorrow.
And you. Hunt well, brother.
And he heads off behind what seems to be kind of his posse. And they continue down the road. Ricky, Carl is not only sweating, crying in your hands, but he also shakes vigorously under the guise of your hand. But they do pass on without noticing the three of you.
While this has all been happening, Ricky has been not like twitching, but there's been this tension in her muscles when she got kind of the whiff of a fight, like almost like like an addict would. And it was very, very difficult to restrain herself. It was probably because she was protecting Carl that she didn't.
Yeah.
But like it physically hurts.
Yeah.
So she's just standing there trying to get control of her own breathing.
How far are the gnolls from us as they're walking away?
They're probably 30 or 40 feet at this point. They'll be out of eyesight shortly.
I love bards.
Me too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
How can I, if I was to size the gnolls, how like tough would I anticipate?
Roll an insight. You can totally roll an insight on that. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna undo all my hard work.
He's got to know.
No, I wouldn't.
Man's got to know.
Oh, nice.
A nat 20. Okay, so you'll note a few things. And you know what? We'll even tie this into your story a little bit. As somebody who used to hunt half-orcs, you know that it takes a very strong creature to do that. Not anybody can hunt a half-orc. They're kind of top of the line game, if you would. It's not like hunting a bunch of goblins.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, these gnolls look, at least the 3 posse members look significantly underdressed for the occasion to be hunting something like that. The guy that was leading, who of course is now trailing behind everyone, seems to be maybe a little different. He has more clout, more armor, and he seems significantly more adjusted to this lifestyle. It is actually the armor that he wears and a symbol on his back that is what catches your eye. And you can't miss it as it almost like fades out from your 60-foot dark vision as he walks away. It is a symbol that represents a hunting pack. Hunters have the tendency to have cabins and clubs and those kinds of things. You yourself were part of one. This is a different one. This is one that is run by gnolls for a very simple reason, which is to kill.
So I want to quickly eye Ricky just to see her status. And do I notice her kind of like twitching?
I would say on that 20, yeah, you take a whole lot of information in very quickly, and that's one of the things that you take in.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to charge at them and attack them.
God damn it.
All right. That is, you're welcome to do that. So, make the athletics to climb the embankment quickly, because you got to get up there. Okay. Yeah, and your feet plant firmly on the ground. The gnoll that just got out of eyesight range stops. And turns very slowly. And actually, before he gets all the way around, laughs and says, "Something else, brother." Yeah, are you charging at him, or are you just like...
I'm just like, as soon as I jump it, I don't even hesitate.
Oh my God, okay.
I sort of run towards the big guy.
Okay,
Fred literally face palms.
Yeah. So let me just set up the pathway so that as everybody, we roll initiative here and we go into combat.
I promise you there is a reason for this, okay?
I knew that. I had a feeling this might be the case.
Like, I believe you. I'm just so shocked.
So...
Fred's so tempted to just sit down by the fire and let it happen.
You're going to be able to reach him, and you do surprise him. The other 3 also turn around. So in order, as you run down the road, here's basically what it is. There's a small, well-beaten path, dirt path that you stand on. It's about 5 foot wide. There's another 5 feet to the right before the embankment drops off to the riverbed, and then there's about 5 foot to the opposite side that touches the woods, okay? You run straight for him. Since you are you going to want to make an attack? Or are you just wanting to get into his space?
I want to attack.
Okay. What is your speed?
30.
Okay, so you're only going... You can either make the full cross and kind of charge at him and use your entire turn, or you can go halfway, but he's not... He's too far. He's 60 feet out from you.
If I charge, does that do anything?
So basically,
like,
I'm giving you a free action. I'm giving you a surprise attack on him, so you could use your whole turn to move the full 60 and then attack him. On your actual turn. We'll have to roll initiative, but...
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do a full charge and then attack.
Okay.
And then I also have extra attack, and I would like to use that immediately after on the same target.
Perfect. Actually, we can even stack that then so you actually get the full surprise attack and you don't have to roll initiative before getting your turn. So you charge in, you get your free action. Go ahead and roll the attack on him.
It's going to be really embarrassing if this doesn't work out.
That's all right. At
It's
a
already embarrassing, dude.
16. At a 16. I actually think that will do it. Let me double check here. Want to pop? No, I don't want a token. I want to see his character sheet. Thank you. That does in fact hit. It matches. So make you should be able to just click it right there in chat.
Yeah.
And 8 points of damage. You bring it across his chest, and it beats into the kind of hunter's wear that he has on. It rips away at the hide, as he seems very, very surprised, and even like knocks him backward a little bit. The other 3 gnolls go straight into initiative. So I need everybody to roll, regardless of whether or not you're going to attack.
I am just so shocked.
Okay, it's all gonna be okay.
29?
Holy good goobly gosh.
Wow. I thought I rolled well.
29.
Okay,
Yo.
they rolled a 16, but Paul has a. Oh, it was the same thing, wasn't it? Okay.
Did mine go through?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
did, and you got the 8. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
got a notification that mine didn't work right, but I think it worked.
Yeah,
I think it's just because I don't have an order. Like I don't have the thing set up for order. I do mine manually because I like to write it. It's
Yeah.
how I. So you're definitely gonna go first, obviously, Ricky. As you hear this, I'm gonna roll for Carl too.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Because he's there, though I don't think he's gonna fight. He
forgot
also
about
rolled a
Carl.
15.
Oh my god.
And the gnolls. Okay. So Ricky goes first. It'll be followed by Dren, followed by Ural, followed by the gnolls. Carl, who's probably not going to act at all, and then Dristan.
Carl spends his turn wetting his pants.
Yeah. Yep. Just
Takes a bonus action to pee.
yeah, to pee himself. He just woke up. This poor kid just woke up. Okay, so let's take it away, Ricky. How would you like to proceed? They don't know you're here.
Yeah. I am so shook. And Lauren is like, but Ricky is like, and she kind of smiles and licks her teeth. So they're pretty far away. Is it possible? Like, I can't even see them from where I am, right?
Do you have 60 foot? They're about 60 feet from you, dark vision. You would. Need.
Okay. Okay, so, okay.
So you
Okay.
can see it. It's right on the cusp of your eyesight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, oh no, this is such an addict. No, she's she's trying hard, you guys. She kind of she like glances down at the sparrow tattoo on her shoulder and then looks away from it. And yeah, she's gonna run up. She's gonna try to run up behind one of them. It doesn't really matter which one.
Okay. And so you'll need to make the full. You'll have to.
She can use a key point
Yep.
to dash as a bonus action.
There you go. So you dash all the way into combat. The first one that you'll be able to reach within the 60 feet is going to be the kind of leader of the group, the one that Ural has already hit.
Cool. I guess I'm gonna attack him. Oh god. Okay. This is crazy. 25.
Hit.
And I'm going to also I'm gonna spend a key point and try to stun him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he has to make a constitution saving throw.
Okay.
DC 15.
Fail. Hard.
Oh fuck. And then I'm gonna spend another key point to do flurry of blows and then hit him 2 more times with advantage because now he's stunned.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sorry.
Damn.
I gotta-
You step in and just like. Okay.
I have
14 does
doesn't hit.
not hit. He is wearing armor, so it needed to be a 15. That one unarmed
20.
strike does.
Okay.
So roll the damage for the sickle and roll the damage for the unarmed strike.
Now, if he is stunned, let me look up the condition real quick because I think if he is
I
stunned,
think you get advantage on the attack. Anybody gets an advantage. He's stunned for his next turn, till the end of his next
Yes.
turn.
Yes.
Do they get advantage when they attack him stunned? I believe they do.
Yes.
Okay.
He fails strength and dex saves.
Okay.
He's incapacitated. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, can't take actions or reactions.
Okay.
Till after his turn passes. So damage from the sickle we've got 7 plus the unarmed strike is 9. So that's
How do you kill the
16.
leader of the gnolls? Like you stun him and he "Huh!" and then you just come around and you just whack him in the neck and he goes, he basically goes limp on your last strike.
What is wrong with me? Yeah, so I run up, he doesn't even see me. I come up through Ural's legs, kind of behind him, climb up, sickle across the neck, and then basically punch him, not even punch him, I grab him around where I cut and just pull back.
Yeah. That final unarmed strike almost opens him up like a Pez dispenser, and his neck just cracks open, and he goes.
Is there
falls.
One nearby?
There are 3 more that are about 10 feet away.
Okay, I can make that because I use the key point because you can split up movement and attacks, and I have an extra attack.
Go for it.
So I run up to the next one after that. And try to slice it up the abdomen. What's wrong with me?
Go for
Nothing.
it. One of
wrong
them.
with you.
There's not a damn thing wrong with you. Go for it. That one doesn't hit though.
Yeah.
She's
got the bloodlust on.
Yeah, these 3 no-go. They're all like, "Whoa, what? Ah, damn it!" As they kind of realize there's a halfling that has stepped into their space. They're also shocked.
Halfling.
Yeah, surprise halfling. Wow, and we move right along. Dren.
Cool. So, seeing that this is going down, I'm gonna blow my horn and inspire Ural. And I have combat inspiration.
Okay.
So you can add, it's a D8 and you can add it to your damage roll if you want, or you can use it when someone attacks you to increase your AC as well.
Ooh.
So does he need to roll the D8?
Yes, it's bardic inspiration, but you get a few more uses out of it.
Okay, cool. Got it.
So I'll blow the traditional battle charge thing of 2 Roshmoks out of me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'll get 30 feet closer. And I guess for my action, I'm just going to dodge. So if anything gets, because I can't get close enough to get into combat range.
Yeah, you're about halfway there. You get up there, you blow the horn, and you move halfway into combat.
So I'll spend my action dodging just in case anything gets close to me.
Okay. And you see the action now. You see blood spilling out on the dirt ground, being soaked in and washing into the river below you, actually, as you feel that first sprinkle of rain. Lightning strikes somewhere off in the distance. And we'll move right along to Ural. It is your turn. You have the one dead in front of you, and you could easily kind of step into range of at least 1 more.
Let me see here. Yeah, I think I'll just step over to whichever is closest.
Okay. You
Yeah,
could
and,
either easily take. There's a free one that's not fighting anybody, or there's one fighting Ricky.
I'll take the one that's free.
Okay.
To let Ricky have her fun. So I'll
Sounds good. That's probably a good idea.
I'll attack the one that's free. Do I just hit same thing? Just...
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, roll again the whichever weapon you're using. I'm sorry.
Okay, and I'm also gonna. Am I allowed to use extra attack again? It just says whenever you make an action.
Yeah, it's every turn.
Every time.
Yeah,
so you basically get 2 attacks each turn.
Okay, so I'll do that again.
Yeah. So
sure.
whack, whack.
And then actually, there's. No, I don't need to do that. Never mind. Yeah, I'll just attack.
12. 12 it is. 12 does not hit the first time, but you can roll again.
Because I know you're new to 5th edition, aren't you? So the inspiration that I gave you is a D8, and you can add it to either an attack roll, a damage roll, or when something hits you to your AC. So if you wanted, you could roll a D8 and add on to that, but it's obviously entirely up to you.
Yeah.
I get another attack though, right?
You do.
So I'll do my second attack.
Okay. Go ahead.
Did it work?
20 double
Oh.
23s, hot damn. So
That's better.
this time around, you can actually add the D8 to your damage if you wanted.
Yes, I will do that.
So roll the mace damage and then roll a D8 by typing /RD8. Click the mace in chat to roll your damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go. So 6, and then roll the additional D8, and we'll see how much extra you do. Damn. That was quite a lot. You see as you enter the first one, the gnoll kind of dodges. It kind of bounces off of him. But as you come back down, you whack him across the face. Gnoll teeth go flying out as you crack his jaw with quite a lot of damage. Very nice. Very nice. And we move right along to the gnoll's turn. There are only 3 of them left. One of them, 2 of them kind of begin to surround Ural. They'll make the first attack. One of them steps in to actually bite you. I guess 11 doesn't hit. Probably not.
No.
Great. And the one that you're in combat with, it actually holds a spear, and it's going to 13 hit.
No.
Damn. Neither of them hit. They try and fail. The last one is in combat with Ricky, and it's going to try to bite her at a 16. Great. They are just, we're so caught off guard that they failed lots of things. And we move right along. It's Carl's turn. You hear him go, "Be safe, Ricky!" from the bed of the river, and it moves.
She doesn't even hear. She's got like, it's like white noise. It's just like she's got blinders on and they're tinted red.
Yeah, and he yells out, Dristan, that it pans over to you, still in the bed of the river, standing next to the shaking Carl. Oh, I think you're muted there, Scott.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm still trying to get used to that whole thing. Dristan just kind of shoves Carl back. Says, "Go back to the camp." And climb over the little riverbed. The ridge, where everyone's fighting. Goes, "What in the 9 hells is wrong with you people? You could have just let them leave." And
I agree.
Dristan, having no armor on, is in a horrible position right now. And so let me just take a quick look here at what my options are, because I was thinking about casting a spell, but none of them are really appealing. And actually, I am going to get into a position where I can heal. I'm going to ready to cast a healing spell.
Nice.
In case somebody gets hurt.
Is your movement 30
y'all are
feet?
awful, and I hate you.
Yeah, you like grunt up there. I'm sure you're like, ugh, and you grunt the whole way. What is your speed?
30.
Okay, great. So you basically make it where Drin did, midway between them, and kind of ready yourself and yell out to the group of them like, "You idiot!" And we move right back to the top of initiative order. Ricky,
my action, just to be clear, I'm readying to cast prayer. Oh, no, that is casting time 10 minutes. I'm going to get myself up behind Ural and or closer. Can I get behind him? Is it close enough? Or
you're 30. I was about to say you could do a whole dash and get right up next to him, but you wouldn't be able to cast anything. Or you could do 30
that's
feet.
fine. That's fine. I want to be up there so I can heal. I got plenty.
Perfect.
I'm just making sure I'm in a position where I can unfuck this fuck up.
Yeah, so you run up behind him yelling at them like, "You idiots, I'm coming to save the day." And you get within 5 feet of him so you can easily just reach out and cast next turn.
Got it.
Now, Ricky, what are you doing in your rage?
She's going to do kind of the same kind of swipe, but so the first swipe she had kind of jumped and he had jumped back, so she's going to turn the sickle around and slice down this time for the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hit for sure.
And then just for extra attack, and then she's going to do it again, kind of like a crisscross.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hit. Yeah.
Okay.
You like Zorro cross his body. Wow. How would you like to kill this one?
I eviscerate him.
Yeah, you watch as she kind of like the sickle makes little to no noise as it slices through his body like warm butter, and his body kind of fillets almost in half as it drops to the ground. And you turn to ready yourself. You're about 10 feet from where you're
runs to the next one.
Yep.
And kind of does a little running jump to its to the back. Tries to elbow it in the neck, like
cool.
Leaps up and tries to elbow it. So it's a bonus action. Ooh, but I'm a halfling, so I reroll ones.
You do. Yeah, that was a good reroll. There you go. That is a definite hit.
So 7 on that one.
Wow, yeah, you come around and like almost with like the end of the sickle probably like blunt force into the back of the head, you know? Yeah, and it goes, oh, you hear it as more blood and teeth go spattering out of its mouth.
Yep.
Is that your full turn?
How about
I think a key point would allow you to take another action if you wanted to.
Oh, right. I'll use one to make a con save to try and stun it again with a hit to the back of its neck.
Okay. Yeah, you can totally try to make it a stun. So it needs to make a constitution. At a 17.
That does make it.
So yeah, it's not quite enough to force it into a stun, but you definitely whack it in the back of the head. You can see it's now bleeding.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And Dren.
Cool. So how many gnolls are still up?
There are 2 gnolls still up. Both are surrounding Ural.
Cool. Bear with me a second here. So, am I within 30 feet of them?
You can move 30 feet and be in range.
Cool. So if I get within range of them, I will cast Bane on the 2 of them. So they've got to make charisma saving throws.
Nope.
DC is 15.
Yeah, 3 and a 7, not so good.
Cool. So they basically, whenever they make an attack roll saving throw for the next minute, they've got to roll a d4 and subtract that number from the roll.
Got it. Yep.
And it doesn't seem like anyone needs inspiring. I'm just going to hold my position.
No, Ricky's inspired herself.
Yeah. I'm going to stay out of melee range for the time being, and I'll stick back a little bit.
Yeah, and you're able to. They're not even interested in you. They seem to be interested in the 2 fighters that stepped up first. Moving right along to Ural.
And I'm close to how many gnolls now? 2, right?
Yeah. But you see that Ricky has stepped up to help you with at least one of them. She's flanking it.
Okay. So I don't remember, but is there a rule with flanking?
There was like a big rule in 3.5 for flanking in terms of gaining a bonus. I don't think here the only thing it really matters for is rogues. That's not even flanking. Let me see if there's I don't think there's a rule in 5th edition for flanking.
I think it's just an optional rule.
Yeah, it's like an optional thing. If I feel like it's really beneficial, or if like all 5 of you are surrounding one, I'd probably give you advantage. But in this case, it won't make much of a difference unless you're a rogue and you get the sneak attack bonus.
Okay, I just want to do extra attack and.
Okay, go ahead and make you 2 attacks then, friend. Let's see how you do. Yeah, that's a hit. Yep. What was the second one? Yep.
So this one is a 6.
Okay.
And then did my second one hit or?
The second one was a 10 does not hit. So just the first one, the 6. Which one are you attacking? The one that she's already hit or the one that hasn't taken damage?
Whichever's closest.
They're both kind of on either side of you. It probably makes most tactical sense for you to attack the one that's already been attacked. So we'll say that you kind of gang up, and it seems to be ready to go down very soon.
Okay.
Thank you guys out there for the cheers and the bits and the such for supporting the channel. Cool. That would be your full turn because you attacked twice.
Right.
And that moves along to the gnolls. So the 2 gnolls are going to take that negative d4, but they are going to try to bite attack once again. The first one at a 21, let me just subtract the 1d4. Okay, so 20 on, I'm guessing that will hit Ricky.
Just.
And a 7 does not hit, no doubt, even with the negative there. So the first bite does in fact hit. So 5 piercing damage as you watch the gnoll latch into Ricky's arm, and it makes a bite and crunches down.
She starts laughing, and it's scary sounding.
Carl goes, oh, you hear him off because it is in fact his turn. Carl goes, Ricky! He shouts out in concern.
Shut up, Carl.
Yeah, and then last up is Dristan in this turn.
Got it. So, refresh me. How many gnolls do we have left standing?
2 still standing, 1 on either side of Ural, and Ricky is flanking one of them. You're kind of on the back side of Ural.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, don't know. I mean, I guess I get to re-prepare spells in the morning.
Yeah, you guys will be able to rest tonight. But that being said, you could also physically attack if you wanted to. You are in range.
I don't have a weapon.
Okay, well then you definitely won't be doing that.
I ran out here with a shield, and that's it. So, I mean, I'm rocking an 11 AC right now. It's pretty
Throwing
awesome.
shield
Killing
cap
it.
style.
You're killing it.
Yeah. Can I can't shield bash. I'm going to fire off a spiritual weapon.
Love it.
Yep. Floating spectral
I was
weapon.
about to say.
On a hit, target takes damage equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting mod.
Okay.
Cool. What do I,
So melee attack against it, using your spellcasting ability modifier as the bonus. So just roll a d20 plus whatever your spellcasting ability is or modifier is.
So it should be your wisdom
Wisdom.
plus your proficiency to attack.
Yep. So I'm new to Roll20. That's backslash
R. You can just type R for roll.
R1d20
Plus.
plus 3 for my proficiency, and then my wisdom is a +3, so +6.
Perfect. Beautiful. And then it should just roll it all for you.
Unrecognized command.
Space between the R.
Yeah. I like that.
There we go.
Ha ha! And that
really?
one!
This is
Oh.
He didn't want to be here, guys. He didn't want to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't.
Not even meant to be here.
Yeah, the whole time you're like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be doing this, I don't want to, ugh, and you just like kind of toss some magic out, and unfortunately it doesn't quite hit the gnolls, who actually don't even seem to notice you that much. Definitely still involved with the orc that attacked them. They seem really pissed at Ural.
That was just a bonus action to cast, and
Woo!
it continues to go, so it'll keep happening every round for the next minute.
Ooh, that's cool.
Well, hot dog, okay.
Yeah. So anyone in need of some healing at the moment?
It looks like Ricky took some damage a little bit. She's got a literal gnoll attached to her arm.
Cool. So I'm gonna move around the knoll and because you can move through threatened spaces now.
Yep, without the attack
you
of
get the
opportunity.
AOO when you leave them.
Correct.
So I'm gonna move over there and cast Cure Wounds on Ricky.
Who's
All right.
laughing?
Yeah, she's like,
I'm learning a lot about Ricky in this fight.
I think we all are learning a lot about Ricky in today's.
Oh yeah, that too.
So Cure Wounds, if I am not mistaken, is just going to be a D8 plus my caster level?
Your wisdom
modifier.
So 3 for you.
Yeah, whatever your modifier is for magic.
Okay, so
What kind of cleric are you? You're a life cleric.
I'm a Forge Cleric.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
which is very cool. I've not played with Forge Cleric before.
Neither have I.
Boop, boop, ba-doo.
8 hit
Nice.
points.
Back to full.
Yeah. The skin almost heals around the teeth of the
Yeah.
gnoll that's still attached to her arm. And Ricky is back to full health as she continues to cackle into the night. Ricky, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna attack it. Let's see. 22.
Oh, that's a hit.
18.
That's a hit.
So
Yep,
18. Does that kill it?
that kills it.
So what I do is I jab the sickle like above my arm through its mouth and slice into it.
Oh, another Pez dispenser.
Yeah, it like whips
Oh,
around just
gosh.
across the top of your arm and catches it like Joker style across here and just slices its mouth open. Its jaw flops down, tongue hits the ground into the dust, and it just like and hits the
And
ground.
I move to the next one.
Yep.
And as a bonus action, I'll try unarmed strike. I don't think that hits.
Nope, that one does not.
Okay. Yeah. It's just like she slices through it, kind of jumps down, and there's just like blood kind of streaming in her eye as she just like into the air looking for the next one.
Yeah, she's just like viciously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Drin.
Cool. So there's just the one gnoll left, right?
It is the single gnoll.
How is he looking?
He is in full health.
Full health.
He is full health.
Oh, do I want to get involved in this? Yeah, fuck it. I'll move up to him. And I've got extra attack, so I'm just going to smash him twice with my vicious mace. Where has that gone? There it is.
Vicious mace.
Oh, that's not going to hit.
Nope, the 8 doesn't hit, but you said do it again.
But attack 2. Does that hit?
I believe so.
16 does.
Cool. So that'll be 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep. He takes that like a champ, but...
Do I want to do anything as a bonus action?
That's the real question. Can you?
I think I'm good for now.
Okay. It goes... It kind of hisses over your shoulder as we move right on down to Ural. Ural, this gnoll finally has taken some damage at the hands of your orc brethren.
So I am going to yet again do extra attack on this gnoll.
Yep, double.
However, am I able to use divine smite on him with the damage?
You should be able to, yeah.
It says expend one spell slot to do radiant damage.
You don't have to call it until you know if you hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
And
basically,
you
it's
just
on the
hit
hit. Yeah, it's kind of like a
Okay.
charged weapon almost. Yeah.
It's great if you crit.
Mhm.
So 11.
The 11 for the first one does not hit. You can roll the second attack. The 12 does not hit. Both of them are miss. So good thing you didn't use your divine smite yet. And it moves right along to the gnoll's turn. It is really pissed. It does reach out one more time for a bite on... Actually, no. It turns to run. It sees that it is outnumbered and it turns to run. So all 3 of you get an attack of opportunity. Actually, all 4 of you get an attack of opportunity as it tries to leave your space. So you guys each get 1 attack. The 17 hits. The 23 hits. The 14 does hit because it's not wearing armor.
Oh, he's so fucked.
Yeah.
And do you want to make any kind of attack on it? I know you said, you have your shield, but Dristan, you're welcome to make an unarmed attack if you'd like.
Would the spiritual weapon get an attack of opportunity?
Oh, that's right. If you can use spiritual
Yeah,
weapon
you're
like
muted.
an attack, you might be able to.
Oh,
I think you're muted, Scott.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I'm still trying to get used to that. The spiritual weapon just floats there, and I have to activate it again on my turn as a bonus
On
action.
your turn, okay. So yeah, so you see it turn. So the slashing damage to it, so that takes it down 7 more. Oh my god! So you guys basically jump this thing as it tries to exit, and as it turns to leave, the sickle slices it at the knees probably. The both of you come side by side with your bashing damage and smash its head. It pops like a tube of toothpaste and hits the ground. The rain has started to come down harder now. And begins to wash the blood into like a muddy thickness that rinses over the side of the embankment as the 3 of you stand there, or the 4 of you stand there over these 4 gnoll bodies that you have just finished. You hear a meep from the riverbed, which of course is Carl, who has not seen the 4 of you in this kind of action before. He is absolutely terrified.
Ricky has like this. Oh, that's terrible. But she has like an afterglow.
He's all flushed.
Yeah. And she like the blood is on her, and it's like rinsing off. And she does this, and she like kind of turns in the rain, and is just silent now.
Dren just kind of gives her all a very long look, and then is going to go back under the bridge.
You guys leaving the bodies in the road?
Yeah, I am.
I won't, but I need a little bit.
Yeah, you like stand in the rain and let it wash over you. Does anybody want to search the bodies?
I would like to just walk over and rip the insignia of the hunting party off from the back. So
Yeah, it kind of it's almost like a cape kind of a thing that comes out the back, and you rip it free, almost like they're wearing the flag itself. And you hold it up. The only one that's really donning it was the one that was kind of leading the group that you guys killed first. You rip it off of his back. And you do, in fact, confirm that this is one of those hunting parties.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm just gonna gather myself. So I'm just standing there looking at the insignia and just trying to cool off, trying to calm down, realizing what the he just did,
Yeah.
and he's kind of just like, ah.
How is Dristan
Yeah,
feeling
what the
in all
hell
of
was
this?
that?
Oh my God.
They were leaving.
I look over to Dren, kind of acknowledging what you said, but then looking over to Dren. Even though Torah is not presence, our philosophy and our ideals must be upheld, no matter what the cost.
Literally just walk away from him.
You splash
And-
off into the mud.
I'm kind of like still fumbling for words, but he's kind of just like, it had to be done. That's all I keep just repeating under and under.
Carl has kind of has come up and out of the embankment. He knows they go through this quite frequently, at least as a steward. He begins moving the bodies, or trying to anyways, dragging these heavy gnoll bodies.
We found a use for him.
Yep.
And he begins dragging the leader, and something falls out of the pocket into the
Ooh.
mud. He picks,
Shiny.
Yeah, it looks like a letter or some kind of scroll, small
I
scroll.
love reading people's mail. That'll
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
kind of
Carl-
snap up when I see him, and hopefully most of the blood has washed off of her, but she gets very embarrassed.
Yeah. He says, I found something.
Give it.
Kate.
Yeah.
Can we get a running tally of Ricky's non-violent felonies?
Actually, this is one of my keeping tallies is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I learned
And
that
all of
What's your
D&D.
secret encounter?
Here we
One
go.
of my best friends, Lindy, taught me it's always okay to read mail of other people.
So first things first, opening of other people's mail.
Yeah.
We will keep it,
Right.
everybody, right here on
Yeah.
the bulletin board. There it is.
Yes.
For
This is number 2 now.
yep, there,
Yeah.
yep, there it is. So we'll keep a tally. Oh, this is number 2. That's right.
That's right.
Two openings of mail.
If I open it.
It is a hand-scribed note. In the rain, the ink begins to run, and it's beginning to get difficult to read. But it seems to be a call to the hunting guilds. 100 gold pieces ahead for orcs and half-orcs that support Turashmak.
Do they have now looking at the body and seeing that? Does this look new?
It
Like
looks,
the ink's running.
yeah, the ink's running, so it seems to be relatively fresh. What you can't quite make out is the seal at the bottom. You see something extremely interesting. It's a wax seal.
Dark Brotherhood. Dark Brotherhood. Dark Brotherhood.
Dark
It's a
Brotherhood.
fist bump. It's a fist bump.
Yeah,
on the
Yeah,
wax,
yeah, Dark
right?
Brother. Yeah, it's two fist bumping in the wax seal. The Dark Brotherhood has left their seal at the bottom of this one.
That's great.
And you can see at the top, even as you kind of inspect it, it looks like they may have ripped this off of a board somewhere because there's a tear in the top of it. That he's kind of rolled in and put it in his pocket, but it looks like it might have been ripped off.
Ooh,
And
awesome.
do you share any of this with a group?
Once we're back at the fireplace, the campfire, she'll she has a story to tell them about all the information she's gathered about the Dark Brotherhood, and she'll tell them all of it.
And as you sit, Carl, you can hear him off in the distance, still dragging gnoll bodies into the ditches.
I love that we trust him on his own in the dark now.
Yeah, but we would let him go to the woods earlier to collect sticks. The four of you find yourself once again around a campfire. The sun is beginning to rise. Just faintly, you can see the stars beginning to dissipate. It probably 4, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. As you take a rest together and Ricky fills you in, she tells you once again about what she saw. She tells you about the rumors of the Dark Brotherhood. You all know who this is. This is the nightmares and the scary stories that are told around adult dinner tables. And as you sit there and the campfire has faded to nothing but hot coals at this point, each of you simmer in silence for a second. Less than 12 hours ago, you were in combat with one another. Now the four of you share a common enemy. One that looks to uproot not only the civilized races, but the efforts that Turash Mach has put forward. As the night turns into day, each of you probably sleep. You can, once again, I think Ural was next for shift. And you do take a long rest as the sun begins to rise. And Carl, once again, after moving the bodies, is snoring around the campsite. And next week, we will pick up in the daylight, moving forward, still headed towards the Principality of Yulin. All right, gang, you came together and fought some things, even though you may not have wanted to. We saw some interesting things tonight. I'm interested to know more about Ricky's hawk thing that's happening with her. But that being said, let's go around and meet or have our cast introduce themselves and tell us where we can find you online or what kind of projects you might be working on out there in the ether. And make sure you should be able to drop some links, I think, into chat. If not, I'll see what I can't do about that. But yeah, let's start, and we will just go right down the line, starting with Pangalactic. How are you, friend?
Hey, I'm good. That was super fun. I did not expect Ural to undo all my hard work. That was awesome.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. I loved it. Yeah, really, really fun. Can't wait to see what the fallout of this is going to be next week. You guys can find me online on Twitter at Pangalactic. I run a website called Loot the Room. We just had a spankly new update, so if you go to loottheroom.uk, there's tons of free D&D resources and maps and things on there, and I stream here on Twitch as Loot the Room UK occasionally as well. Pop in and say hello sometime.
To check it out, the website's snazzy.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
don't take it from me. Go see it for yourself. All right, and right on down the line. How are you today, Scott?
Doing great. That was a ton of fun.
Cool.
I'm still learning how spell casting works in 5th edition now, which is completely mind-boggling. But it's interesting. It's fun. Screw you. You're all. Ruin everything.
Oh.
We'll become friends again.
You wouldn't have found the letter, though. You would never have found the letter.
Maybe we'll get to be friends as you ask me more weird personal questions.
I'll make a note of that. Don't worry.
I am Lauren Scott Peterson for this stream. You can find me at the Nerds on a Roll podcast, where I am the game master for our Masks game. You can find me on Twitter at DM_LSP, where I rant about lately hip-hop and indie games.
Hey!
Yeah, we talked a lot of indie games when we were at Gen Con. That was one of the things I was like, we're about to be best friends. You're talking indie games, which is what I'm all about. So
we gotta actually play some together.
Well, I was about to say, how about this during my outro? I'll let you guys know about the indie games I've got coming up, because I'm going to be launching and testing 2 this fall. But let's move. I know I'll tell you all about this here in a second. But let's move right on down the line to that salty ginger. Help. Who knew? Who knew Ricky was going to take down 3 gnolls today?
I knew.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a fight, but I love bards so much that Lauren was like, no, that's dope. But also fighting is dope. Yeah, so we got both.
Yeah, you did.
We got both, and that made me very happy. Oh God, she's vicious. I didn't know she was that messed up, but I like it. I'm about it. Yeah, hi, I'm much nicer than her in real life. You can find, I don't have bloodlust. My nickname on other channels isn't Smorgasbord of Violence. You can find me on Twitter at ThatSaltyGinger. I play games. Like tomorrow night is the penultimate episode of, let me find my thing. I like my picture when I do this. Project Athena, Pulp Cthulhu. We are over on Grimjack 21502 on the Twitches. And it's a Pulp Cthulhu game. It's our 3rd season, our penultimate episode of the 3rd season. High feels, eldritch magic, eldritch horrors. It is the best in the world. It is my heart. I love it. And then on Monday, we have a premiere over on Scraticus's channel, twitch.tv/Scraticus, I believe. And we are doing some Eberron, some D&D 5e and Eberron. So that's going to be super exciting. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then Fridays, I do some Conan sometimes over on Grimjack 21502. We're going to do some Outbreak Undead. That's an indie game. Exciting. Yeah, Paul's going to do that too.
Nice.
And what else? And sometimes I do Adventures in the Wild Blue, a Lady Blackbird campaign over on Off the Table. We do that bi-weekly because we have a sister show on Scraticus's channel, and that is super exciting. We just had our first episode last night. So if you're interested in that, go over to Off the Table on Twitch and watch the VOD because it was a hoot. That's me.
Very
Lady
nice.
Blackbird's really good. You should all watch that.
It is
Yeah.
really good.
An awesome system. I'm going to run it in a couple weeks.
Ooh, very exciting. And last but certainly not least, Paul, how are you? Tell us where we can find you.
So you can find me on Twitch. It's just twitch.tv/in1123. Twitter's in1123. Everything is in1123. Yeah, I'm a variety caster on Twitch. Play random games. I work with streamers, if you would say that, to help them kind of launch merch if they so please, and a couple other things. That's more of my focus now. I used to be a streamer, but I find more joy in kind of helping other streamers make a steady, I guess a better percentage is what my partner says, but fuck him. But it's just like I just like helping people and streamers. So but yeah, just find me on twitch.tv/in1123. You can see me playing a lot of random games. Lately I've been really freaking addicted to the new Spider-Man game. I just cannot put that game down. And I could finally do this. I will be on another show tomorrow, I think, on Crits and Grin's channel. They're doing a Tomb of Annihilation where it's like he promised me I'm gonna die. So I'm kind of excited to see how I die.
Great.
And yeah, I promise you guys I'm not as irrational or simple-minded as you're all. I'm just maybe like half of that at most, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, definitely follow this cast. I'm really excited to be playing with all four of you. I am Chelsea. Lots of people call me Little Red Dot or just Dot. You can find me online under that little_red_dot. When I'm not DMing here, you can catch me in a ton of other games and campaigns on a ton of other networks, including my own. So if you like podcasts, you can check me out in the North by Northwest podcast. And after that, I'm playing in everything from Vampire the Masquerade to Princess of the Apocalypse. So my schedule I keep over on my Twitter. And if you're not a Twitter person, still drop by because right there in my profile, you can find the link to my Discord. Which will lead you to a slew of different channels. I'm actually launching a bunch of text-based RPGs, so if you're not a streamer, but you still want to be involved in some of the things that I'm doing, the stories that myself and some awesome followers are telling, you can join my Discord for that. In the fall, I do have 3 very exciting announcements. The first one is going to be that I will be launching Fate of the Anchorman Wednesday starting in October. The cast will be announced next week for that, which is really exciting. So if you love the movie Anchorman, and for some reason if you like the second movie Anchorman, you can somebody out there I'm sure does. You can come join us. We will be set in a very similar world of the 70s and polyester and mustaches and that of the Anchor Room News team. And both November and into the top of December, I will be also launching 2 more indie games. I will be playtesting Capers, which will have launched at that point for the public. If you like gangsters and the 1920s and superpowers involved with your gangsters, then this is the stream for you. And then I will be playtesting one more in December, kind of into November into December, called Witch Girls, which will involve an all-female cast of women, or high school girls, witches, if you would, who have their own clique, which is kind of like their coven. So expect Charmed meets like The Craft. So that should be a lot of fun and something interesting that I'll be playtesting out too. So I'm going to be planning on using my Little Red Dot channel moving forward to actually playtest indie games, and I will be doing a lot of playing of D&D and the things that we all know and love on other people's channels. So there are all the updates that I could possibly give you right now. Go follow me, follow all these wonderful people. And definitely, if you tuned in tonight for the first time here on the Greyhawk channel, give us a follow. If you have one of those awesome Prime subscriptions, you can toss one of those our way as well. And Greyhawk, too, has a Discord that you can join where we can talk all about this campaign. You can chat with the characters and me as well, and we can talk all of the spoilers, if you would, on the Discord. So until next week, remember, I don't know, just remember to do things, or make the dice roll in your favor or something, you know? Yeah, so go out there, roll some dice, tell some stories, and have a good time. So we'll see you again here next week for the Birthright of the Pomarj.